Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots will return to practice this afternoon as they get ready for a first-round home playoff game against the LA Chargers in Foxborough on Sunday. These two teams did not meet during the regular season. The Patriots did lose to this team in each of the last two seasons at Gillette Stadium. In other NFL news, a shocker in Baltimore. The Ravens fired head coach John Harbaugh after 18 seasons yesterday. He has reportedly been contacted by every franchise with a head coaching opening. The Washington Commanders yesterday parted ways with both offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury and defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. Bruins finished up their West Coast road trip with a loss late last night, 7-4 in Seattle. David Pastrnak scored 2 more goals for the Bruins in a loss.
No, it's waste of opportunity. We were rested and they're coming off back-to-back. So that's when you're gonna win and steal those points. So like I said, waste of opportunity. Been a long trip and it's tough loss.
This is a 2-2 game late in the second period, but Berkeley, Catton, and Capo Caco had 2 goals apiece for the winners. The Bruins earned a total of 5 points on this 5-game trip. They're back home to play Calgary tomorrow night. As for the Celtics, they play Denver at TD Garden tonight. The Nuggets will be without 3-time league MVP Nikola Jokic. Grandy and Max had the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5, the Sports Hub. And the Red Sox avoided salary arbitration with Cutter Crawford yesterday, signing him to a 1-year, $2.5 million contract. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Vision. Boston Vision helped baseball legend David Ortiz get back to seeing 20/20 again, and they could do the same for you. See Big Like Poppy. Book your free evaluation at bostonvision.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
New England plays here.
Ball down the right side, there's a separation. Touchdown pass. Perfect dive from Drake May.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah, boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yeah. We are Toucher and Hardy, Tom Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube Live at subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Big show on the way today. Lots of Patriots talk. Some other things as well. A perilous drive today. I'm not going to tell you it is not. A lot of standing water on the freeway.
See, Wallach was talking about the drive. He wanted to know how Nick's drive was, and Ryan was talking about all the fog that he encountered. It was like misty and stuff, but I didn't think it was bad, and I didn't have any ice. So
Little in the neighborhood,
I don't know what
nothing
you're
on the pipe.
squawking about, Wallach.
How am I squawking?
Your feathers were all ruffled. You were asking everybody about their drive, wanting to know if Nick was okay, checking in on him.
Yeah, I show concern when I'm told that there's a glaze of ice on the road. I worry about Nick's well-being.
Did you encounter any ice?
No, but I was outside of the ice zone. I was told that
the
interior sections in North Shore
I was
had
in
it.
the ice zone, John. No bueno.
Yeah.
There was standing water where and you would have hit it too, John, because on 95 North past the Pike, there was standing water all over the place. If you didn't hit it, consider yourself lucky, because I was going like 45 miles an hour. There was, just huge waves of water coming off the road.
Yeah, somewhat treacherous. So naturally, you talk to Nick, who I've worked with for a long,
All right,
for a long time.
you can stop explaining that. I'm agreeing with you.
I'm talking to Hardy here.
No, I know, but it's. I'm telling you, there was standing water. It was a bit of a perilous drive.
Well, for you, Fred, from your direction, you come off and you probably live in those right 2 lanes because you don't have very far to go.
Well, I got the Hyundai. So, I'm driving that Hyundai rental, which I should be able to return today. So, living right.
Yeah, but you see, during that same section of highway there, I'm like left 2 lanes, so I had no standing water.
So when you get off at the Waltham exit, you're exiting through the grass?
What I do is I shoot across from the far left lane in the last 150 yards. I go all 4 lanes to get over to that Waltham exit.
Well, that's what I should have done
At the last second.
Yeah, because in the left lane, everyone's been zooming, so the water's just been dispersed all over the place.
There's one spot in the far left lane, and anyone who's been driving in the rain on, I guess technically it's still 93 south at this point. So it's like in Canton, so you're past the split, you're past 24, but before you get to where 95 cuts down, right?
Yes.
So you're still 93 south. There is a spot there with any kind of rain where there is, I'm not exaggerating, I'm going to say close to a foot of standing water in that far left lane. And I've hit that thing before not knowing, holy crap. You think it's over.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, now I'm just dead. It sounds like you hit something, and enough water goes up on your windshield where you can't see for the solid 100 yards anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't bad this morning. As much as John is trying to scare you, lamestream media, trying to make you afraid of something that's not there.
It's trying to keep you from work so the economy tanks. So
yeah,
finally the liberal agenda can be
I don't know who got to him, but somebody obviously did.
Well, I'll tell you who got to him. It's just the rest of the lamestream media. He's sitting there, he's watching Rachel Maddow and saying, oh, no, the standing water. Oh, no, what are we going to do?
I watched Rachel Maddow once in my life. It was when she had the big reveal about something about Trump's tax return.
Oh, I didn't watch that, but I know that was a huge failure. It was like the Al Capone vault of MSNBC.
So she had like the cover sheet of his tax return, and she spent 15 minutes doing a very informative monologue about Russian oligarchs, but nothing to do with taxes and nothing to do with anything that was promised or hinted at in the big buildup to that. And I haven't seen her since.
So I don't watch I don't watch television news. I only watch influencers.
Right.
Speaking of the news and commenting on what they've said.
You picked this up from Zoe.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't watch it. Doesn't bother TV news. Facebook and TikTok.
Right.
That's how he consumes his current events.
No, but the
not kidding,
news I read is generally I'll read it in a newspaper, but I don't watch. I've never seen MSNBC, and I've never sat down and like turned on Fox News. I like at elections I've watched CNN. The only thing I like is on CNN, and it's the guy that breaks down the numbers.
Oh yeah,
like he comes out. He comes out all the time now, and he gives like the polling on anything.
Doesn't the same guy do stuff for the NFL playoffs too? He's
like a younger guy. He's a younger guy. He makes like cultural references that I find younger, meaning like I think he's probably like 40, but like
yeah, a kid.
Well, comparatively, and so, but he's like on there, and he's I forget what they call him. Maybe it's just something as simple as data analysis or something like that. But he comes on and he's jovial, and he'll come on and he'll go like this whole Nicaragua thing. It's not anything to do with like why they're doing it. He's like, is it Wag the Dog? Well, no. Look at this on Saturday night. 50% less people trafficking the sites for the Nicaragua thing. No. And then one guy goes, well, now that football's over on Sunday, we wonder if this will go back up. So it's nice to know that football was involved in that. But yeah, he breaks down polling, but he does so in a very almost comedic way. I enjoy him.
Harry Enton, is that who it is?
Let me see. I would have to see a face.
All right,
I wouldn't know. He's like a tall. He's a bit of a.
Is he good looking?
I wouldn't say he's like handsome.
Is it that guy?
Yes.
Yeah, Harry Enton.
Yeah, Harry Enton. I like him.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing I really watch on television news. I don't watch it on TV either.
No tie.
No, this ain't. He ain't coming out here, Jack. He comes out. It's a loose. It's a couple buttons unbuttoned. You know, he's got a nice horn of plenty necklace on, resting in a tuft of chest hair.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He does the Frank Viola.
Yeah,
That's good.
Exactly. It's Frank Viola's kid, actually, but he was ashamed with the name, so he changed it.
Got it.
He took his mother's maiden name. It's hyphenated, but he took out the hyphen. But I like. But that's really the only thing. But it will be. We've been over this before, but for a long time I had one YouTube on my my laptop that seemed to lean very I would say democratic, and then on my iPad it seemed to lean very conservative. And the reason this is because at one time or another, naively, I went like, oh, something like crazy happened. And, like someone got shouted down like on one of these news shows. And so like I would click on it and then it would be some dick sitting there, breaking down the video with a still of the video, just babbling. And I'm just fast forwarding. And I don't do that anymore, but I did it enough times, at first, where the algorithm on one YouTube account, and whatever, I don't even know if I have a YouTube account, but like one of the, I guess my regular YouTube account would be on my laptop, and then my iPad is just what I look at on that iPad.
Without being signed in.
I don't
maybe?
sign into anything on that
Yeah.
iPad. So that like leaned conservative, and so for a while, just the screenshot of it with the description would drive me insane.
I still fall for those when I'm looking for a video, and it could be sports, it could be something else, and again, it's these people who they'll play just enough of the video that won't get them flagged and won't get it taken down or blocked. And then they keep the still up and talk for 8 or 10 minutes. And all you want to do is see the video.
Right.
But instead you get this person sing.
And again, they're not being funny and like riffing off the clip. Like they're not like being funny.
No.
So it's just basically a passionate, almost false description of what went on. And nothing really good went on. And this isn't even like so-and-so's owned. This is like someone had a mental breakdown. Like Stephen Miller had a mental breakdown. And you're like, oh, Stephen Miller had a mental breakdown on TV. This might be interesting. Like maybe he like completely lost his mind and started, freaking out.
Sure.
And then it's nothing. Or it's just some guy going, and then, or it's vice versa, whatever, whoever had a mental breakdown. I don't know.
Some good, content.
Yeah, content. Yeah, some good content. That's what we want, is good content. Ground beef's a real winner nowadays.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to find a computer, in the woods to, make a computer. Yes, Pat McAfee is slowly taking over the world.
Western PA faster guy.
Exactly. That's exactly what Pat McAfee is. I cannot stand him. I can't stand a lot of mistakes being made.
He was very excited about the stealth flyover.
Oh, I saw that video. Yeah. Yeah.
He dug that.
America rules. Check it out. Everyone look up.
Yeah. And what's wrong about that is the just obvious pandering. I don't care for it.
We got a bomber. You guys don't have a bomber.
No. Other people have bombers.
I do like a flyover, though.
It seems like something that you would be interested in.
You don't look up? If you're ever at a game and there's flyover?
I don't know if I've ever been in a game where there's a flyover. No, probably not, because the only Super Bowl I was at in the Silverdome. And no, I don't think I've ever been at anything.
A lot of Patriots home games for years had flyovers.
Yeah, they were still doing.
Again, I wouldn't have seen it.
They were still doing them. I think when I started doing pre and post, and I remember after one, the Army was sponsoring or was part of it's probably like a salute to service game, and they were supposed to do a flyover. It was of helicopters right at the end of the anthem, and they came over and they missed it. They missed it by like 5 seconds. And Matt, who is the producer of the pre and post, who is a Marine, we were watching from the press box as they flew over, and he just went, Army, of course they're late. Of course they're late. Like he was not impressed, and B, kind of happy that the Army guys screwed up the timing of their flyover.
Well, anytime you hear what that costs, and I understand it's like a recruiting tool, but anytime that you hear what that costs, like the cost of getting those planes operational and flying them over the stadium, isn't it like the military that it costs $10,000 for a wrench or something? Like the flyover is like this gross amount of money.
Yeah, it's something. Let's just say it's hundreds of thousands of dollars,
right,
to coordinate that, and just in jet fuel alone to send those things up. It's really crazy.
Yeah, and just the idea that it would be happening all the time is just it was always kind of lightly aggravated me. It wasn't something I would go home and brood about.
Well, it got super aggravating, I think, for people after there were all these, military displays and there were these cool things happening, and whether now I don't know what the economics of the salute to service are. That seems to be something that everybody's on board with, and who doesn't support the troops other than John?
Yeah, John, you don't know he's a big defund the police guy too.
But when it came out that the NFL was actually charging the branches of the military for these, halftime displays and tributes and stuff, it's like, oh no, if you want a stage and a platform to be part of this, you have to pay us. We're not. We're not. We're not sponsoring anything. You pay to be highlighted either in a pregame or in a halftime or anything like that. Now, I don't know if that changed, but that was something that maybe everybody knew for years, but I only found out maybe like 5-10 years ago that all that stuff is bought and paid for, not by the team, not by the league. No, the branches of the military, they pay.
So I endorsed one of the branches of the military when I was in Atlanta, like a recruitment thing. And I went out with like the guy
that's on brand.
Right. Well, this is why I went out to dinner with the guy, and I'm like, and one of the things I asked like the guy from the military that was doing it, and I said, like, why do you want me to do this? Like, do you think do you think I'm appropriate? Like, I'm like dirty jock at the time, like, I'm like dirty jock. And he's like, you want to draft? And I go, no. And he goes, make with the ads. And okay, there you go. He's like, yeah. He's like, we got to get people to join the military. And I said, that's exactly what he said. He's like, I mean, it was more to it than that. But
no,
but
it's
like,
it's an excellent point.
Yeah, he's like, do you want to draft? He's like, this volunteer military. He's like, we need, he's like, I believe in what this is. He's like, I believe in the way that this is, a valuable thing for people to do. It can improve their lives. It obviously helps the country. And I was like, okay, good. I mean, if you want me to do it, because I asked the same question you did, Hardy. I was very self-aware. Said, I'm the guy you want. Like, I'm like, I got no military connections. Like, I got nothing going on. I mean, I don't know if I could reach back and find an uncle.
A relative?
A relative that was in the military. And then, because no one's relatives were in the military, considering there was many, many wars you didn't have an option of being in for very long periods of time. Where I always find that interesting. Like my uncle served in a war. Oh wow, that's interesting.
That you are a unique and special flower.
Yeah, like it's funny. You mean someone was like in their teens or early 20s during World War II, huh? and they were in the military.
How about that?
Well, wow, it's almost it's somehow avoided anyone in Europe or North America. No one had to go. Dan, quickly. Dan, go ahead.
Real quick on the flyovers, I know pilots need training hours, so hopefully they overlap those so it's not a complete waste of fuel. But I was going to say, I got a 19-year-old, you got a 17-year-old. The kids, I think we finally hit our saturation point. They don't believe anything they see on the internet anymore, so I think we're getting past that shock value. Now, my parents still watch videos and believe everything. I think the new generation is just too much fake. You've been tricked with clickbait. I think we're coming out of it, so we're finally not trusting all the crap that you just pops up on your phone.
Well, Dan,
I think we take that.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard this yesterday, but we talked about something that social media had reached its peak in 2022. And the big reason for this is younger people seem to not be posting as much, right? Like, so, and we talked about how, when social media was your friends, that was one thing, but kind of these social media companies may have screwed themselves by creating this algorithm where you're being fed someone else's idea of what you should be looking at, and it's people that you don't look at. And of course, I think that at a certain point, again, with every social media thing, it started off as something innovative and kind of cool, and there were creative and interesting people on it, and then it just becomes something that everyone gets onto. They drive away the creative and interesting people, and then there you go. I could just tell you, I'll tell you last night, Catatonic Youth put these two guys up, and they dress like they're in the 80s, like in an 80s metal band. And I went, what the hell is this? And then I looked at it, and every video is these two guys that dress like they're in the 80s, and they pose the same way, and they say basically the same thing. And so it's like, okay, so you had an idea for a video where you dress like it's the 80s, and you pout your lips and like flex your muscles, and then you went, let's do this 1,000 times.
Yeah. And because if it's good and funny once,
and the thing is that I don't care if you've been hit in the head with a shovel. There's no way you're going to find that entertaining 1,000 times. It's like the boom guys, which I do believe is a sign that of when that becomes something, no one goes, oh, this is what how I want to spend my time. What are the boom guys up to? Oh, they're dressed like the Chipmunks. Like, for 30 seconds singing a Chipmunk song or lip syncing a Chipmunk song. No. I understand Family Matters ran for like 9 seasons, but at least that was someone wrote it, they produced it, they shot it. It was 22 minutes.
And you only watched it because there's nothing else on, and everyone agreed while they were watching it that it wasn't good. No one actually liked it.
I can just tell you this, that I don't care, pick a year. 67, 85, 93, pick a year. You give the boom guys a television show that lasts maybe not even the whole episode. Let alone picked up. That doesn't get out of pilot, my friend.
Canceled mid-airing.
Yeah, it would be the network president would just pull the plug on it. It would go to a test pattern.
I was just going to say go dark the last
Russell
8
Dalrymple would be watching from home and say, get this off the air.
And I don't care if and I think that Dan is right. Like once it gets to that, like people's grandparents or their parents, like people in their 80s are the ones consuming something.
Yeah, I would just say
one thing generally past the cultural wave.
The one thing I would say about Dan, though, because I have the 19-year-old and the 15-year-old. The 15-year-old, I wouldn't say is hip to everything. I would say quite the opposite. He believes everything he sees online.
Oh, good for him. He hasn't lost that youthful energy. Nice.
No. Believes all the tricks you can try on TikTok. And hey, did you know that if you slide a penny underneath a can of Coke, it'll turn into a like? Shut up. Go outside or do something. Stop.
At least he's not watching what my son watches on that stuff. The videos he sends me, he's not making them, but I'm like, oh boy. All right.
Don't laugh at that.
No.
I can laugh at that, but you should be laughing.
Or laugh at it, but I don't need to know about it. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment.
On the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
JR Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what happened last night?
Big NFL news yesterday as the Baltimore Ravens head coach John Harbaugh was relieved of his duties after the Ravens after the Ravens lost to the Steelers 26-24. They I guess Harbaugh was the one who missed that field goal. So
just going to say, if Luke makes that field goal, Tomlin's the one that gets fired and Harbaugh's safe.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Tomlin was going to get fired.
Maybe not, but you understand my point.
Yes. There was talk that either one of those guys might be out of a job. I didn't think either one of them would really be out of a job, especially losing the way he did in that game. He had just signed a 3-year extension last offseason, so he's under contract through the 2028 season. Now, this is the type of analysis we wait for and look for and seek out after a huge disruption in the NFL landscape. Adam Schefter, what do you have for us?
Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti was in the building today to meet with John Harbaugh, and he wanted to take the organization in a different direction. It was time for Steve Bisciotti to take back his team and to set John Harbaugh free. I expect John Harbaugh to be the most in-demand coach in this cycle.
No,
he will be able to go wherever
bold.
he wants, basically, to get a head coaching job.
No.
What bold statement.
I saw this hard-on video that the Ravens put out a couple weeks ago of Harbaugh at 5:13 in the morning doing squats in the Ravens gym with the trainer. and I thought to myself, okay, say this is something does the trainer really show up at 4:30 in the morning? And then Harbaugh really comes in at 5 in the morning to lift. And then I thought, okay, say he works and say he puts in a 12-hour day. Then don't tell me that he's there until 9 o'clock at night. Because if he's there at 9 o'clock at night and goes to bed at 11 and then gets up at 3:30 in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, he's not going to be mentally acute. At some point, you have to sleep. And if I'm like it's funny because if I was like the owner of the team, I would be like, get your brain together.
Isn't that one of the most
be concerned about your brain?
This is one of the most obnoxious and annoying things, and I think it's pervasive across the NFL. We heard about it all the time when Belichick was here. These guys, they would sleep at Gillette, especially after a Sunday night game. They got a quick turnaround. They got a road game coming up. We got to start the prep, so we're just going to sleep here. Do you? Do you have to sleep there? Is there that much work to do? And on this very show, it was years ago. Wasn't it Welker was the one who was talking about how we put together all this tape for all these guys?
No, it wasn't even that. So Welker was on, and Welker at the time had just become a receivers coach, and I believe it was for the Texans. And he was saying that that he had to sit there and take a picture of the team they were playing, or his team and the team they were playing, every snap of every configuration that they had offensively, and he said no one ever looked at it. He said it took him a day, and then he would just sit there all day. It was excruciatingly mundane and boring. There was nothing to it. They would then have to print it all out, put it in a dossier for all the coaches, and it would literally never be opened. That's the thing. It's a 3-hour game. How many possessions are there? If it takes you that long to figure out what you're going to do, how are you communicating that? There's so many flaws in that whole thing. By the time Sunday rolls around, you're going to be so effing brain dead and so just over it, you're not going to be an effective coach. Second of all, how much of this information can you relate over the course of 4 practices to your team? Because they get a day off. The Monday that you get back is generally a recovery and review day.
Yeah.
So you basically have 3.5 practices. How much of this information can you relate to a group of 53 guys? I don't understand how you could do that. So here, by the way, we're changing everything. everything is going to change. Okay, you're going to teach this to me in 3 practices?
Right.
Well, no, you got to live in the film room. Okay, so you're going to teach this to me in 5 days? There's no way.
And especially like you mentioned, the dossier. Once you provide someone with some material to look at and study for, that's fine. Once it gets to that point where it's too much and you've got all this, it's the classic paralysis by analysis. You're just going to have so much in front of you, say, you know what? I'm not going to bother looking at any of it. What's the point? I'm never going to get through all this stuff. So, pick the 2 or 3 things that are really important, focus in on those, and all this other stuff that all these assistant coaches are doing and all these guys are doing is spending the night at the stadium and getting there. What's the point? What's the point?
Well, first of all, you have an offense and you have a defense that you run. So you would be essentially just tweaking those things correctly.
I would hope.
Or to know, okay, we're playing Myles Garrett. There are problems that have to be solved. We're playing Myles Garrett. All right, how are we going to help out when he's lined up? How are we going to help out the guy he's lined up against? Okay. And then you come up with these things, but it's not like you're installing a new offense every single day. It's ridiculous. But I don't mind John Harbaugh. I think he's probably a very good coach, and it was probably time for him to leave. I heard Vinny Serrato, and if this would have happened earlier in the day, I would have gotten Vinny Serrato on.
He's been on before.
Yeah, he's been on a bunch of times, but he's the big Baltimore radio guy, which is put that in kind of perspective. But Vinny Serrato was on the NFL channel on the radio, and he goes, I was texting with John last night, and I thought, well, why would you want to be doing that? So I don't want to hear you on the radio then. So you're texting the coach of the guy that you have to talk about every day? Well, I don't want that at all. I don't want you texting with the coach. Then it's that. What fun is there in that for me to listen to?
Right.
What, with your pal? So now, you can be friends with a player, but now, so you're like captain ingrained with the team. That's not of any entertainment value to me.
Well,
had Harbaugh been fired before he talked to him?
No, he said he texted him after the game. He was texting with him after the game. No, he hadn't been fired. He got fired yesterday. So, but I just thought, I don't want the radio host whose job is to entertain and BS for 20 hours a week, ass grabbing with the coach after games. It's the last thing I want. That just doesn't that sound incredibly boring?
Yes.
That just sounds like, oh, wow, because you're not getting any. First of all, information on the radio, I got news for you, not of great importance. Now, if you're a reporter and your job is to write articles that are, you read for 5 minutes, that's where the information is. But if your job is to talk into an open mic for 4 hours, your keen analysis is going to run very dry. Very quickly. I'd rather have a guy who never talks to the coach at all and just is free flowing, giving opinions. But what do I know?
There is a report, though. This is from John Harbaugh's agent, that immediately, within 20 minutes after his firing, he had received 7 phone calls.
And John kind of incorrectly reported this. So there are 7 openings, but one of them's the Ravens.
One of them is the Ravens.
Yeah. So Vinny Serrato thinks Miami called them.
That's
and that Miami said, "Do you want to bring in a GM?" Which is a dangerous game. Okay, now we're just going to completely pivot. And because you're available, fire McDaniel and the GM, and we weren't going to do it, but now that you're available, we're going to do it. That seems interesting to me.
Yeah.
And Serrato, who texts with Harbaugh, seems to think that's the job Harbaugh would want. I happen to think it would be the Giants, but that opportunity in Miami to bring in your own GM would be what he wants. Because he couldn't do that with the Giants.
It's not only Miami. Say that's true, and there's no reason not to believe that. Every team with a head coaching opening, plus 3 others, this is according to Rappaport. So 3 teams with a head coach reached out. So it was a total of, I think, 8 or 9 teams that reached out to him immediately after he got fired.
But the thing is that if the Jets reached out to him, then it's a foregone conclusion.
Right.
Because you got an opportunity to start fresh. You're not encumbered with a roster.
Hey, blank slate.
Yeah. You could bring anyone in.
Can mold it however you want.
Yeah, look, and is
the transfer portal open? Should he go right now? Is it?
Man, they got picks. Don't worry about it. He can craft this team any way he wants.
Picks 2 and 16. Do I have that right?
Johnny, they got they got something like 12 first and second round picks over the next 2 years. They're going to reload like you wouldn't believe.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it was good enough for Parcells.
That's right.
Parcells came here, molded. The team was literally nothing when he showed up.
Yeah. So there you go. That was interesting news yesterday that John Harbaugh is gone, and now there's all this talk that Lamar Jackson, who didn't like Harbaugh that much, I guess anyway, even though they completely apparently just worked everything around Lamar Jackson's once. He's making $51 million next year, that he could want out of Baltimore. I'm telling you this, I'm not giving up a ton of draft capital. He'll be 31 at the end of this contract. He's coming off an injury. You see how he plays when he can't run.
Coming off his latest injury.
Right, exactly. And then you see how he plays when he can't run. I mean, I would love to have Lamar Jackson as a quarterback if I could just get him. But, I mean, are you giving up 4 first-round picks to get Lamar Jackson?
No.
Well, I mean, look at what Cleveland did to get Watson.
I know. It can go horribly wrong. Watson is at least a bigger body, but Jackson's a much better quarterback. In the end, though, you watch Lamar Jackson this year, and we had a chance to see him when he played the Patriots and got knocked out after halftime. I mean, when he does not have his speed, that's the end of him.
Well, and also, I just be concerned about I'm giving up all this capital to bring him in. He's been already disenfranchised with the team. I'm bringing him in, so he's got that attitude. I'm paying him this ungodly amount of money. The dead cap money on it, even if they trade him after next year, is I guess really like a significant hit. Like there's a lot of stuff I wouldn't want around that.
It's funny because Lamar Jackson was supposedly the prototype of all quarterbacks, a guy who can run, it's a dual threat, but over the years it has evolved to, yes, the quarterback has to be mobile, but he has to be larger, be able to take hits, and be smart enough to get down and get out of bounds. That's something Lamar didn't do when he was younger. He's the extreme option, the extreme version of what you want a dual threat quarterback to be.
Again, I would love to have Lamar Jackson as quarterback, but I just wouldn't give up a ton of capital to get him at this age right now.
No.
I would. I mean, look, if I could have gotten him 5 years ago, I'd give up 2 drafts for him, but I wouldn't do that now. All right, we'll be back here. The headlines.
Sports.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, the Bruins played last evening.
Yes, they did. Taking on the Seattle Kraken. Kraken score first in the first period, but the Bruins had an answer.
Veneers carries through the center ice circle, brings to the Boston.
How about these guys all got veneers? Getting
Side.
hit in the face with these pucks.
Right, because they're hockey players and their teeth get messed up.
Remember, like in the 70s and 80s, that they would just be like, "Oh, look at this hockey player; he's missing a tooth." Mm-hmm. That's how that was the trope in the sitcom.
That's how you could tell who they were.
Circles Zadorov fires long. Pasternak off the carom out of the corner, shoots and scores. David Pasternak gets the Bruins back even.
Sounds like a lot of Bruins fans there in Seattle.
Well, I mean, with the history of the Kraken, you would have to assume that can't be the case.
No, you see, hockey's always been there. The Kraken. Seattle Kraken woman. All right, so tied after one half first period. Once again, 2 minutes, 48 seconds in, the Kraken score. And who do you think answers?
Laura, pass up the left side. Elias Lindholm across ice. Karam comes to Pasternak, just in across the line, hands off to McAvoy, cutting to the right circle, back across, and they score! It ended up being a wide open net from that far side circle for Pasta. His second of the night ties it at 2.
He's got 410 career goals. He needs 4 to reach the top 100 goal scorers of all time. That's how good he is. It's incredible. He keeps... We were talking about this before. He has a chance to score 600, 650. He's barely 30. He's got a lot of time left if he stays healthy.
He's going to end up being the best hockey player of all time.
One of the best goal scorers of all time.
Sure. Well, Seattle scored again to take a 1-goal lead. And then a minute and a half later, would Pasternak answer? Well, I don't know. They're on the penalty kill here at the end of the second period.
McCann across to Beniers, back up top. 8 seconds to go in the period, and they set up for a one-timer from that far circle. Up over Swayman. Dunn from the left point. Sends it back across, and a one-timer scores! Jared McCann. Clock is showing zeros.
It's going to be close. Yeah, they got to look at this again. It's going to count.
It did count at the 19:59 mark of the second. The Kraken would go up 4-2 and never surrender the lead. As a matter of fact, they would score 2 more midway through the third to make it a 6-2 game. Ultimately, a 7-4 loss for the Bruins in Seattle.
Remember
the Seattle Kraken.
we were talking about Jeremy Swayman, being the number 1 goaltender, playing a lot more, playing 50, 60 games. This was his 4th start in 7 days, rather. He looked tired from what I saw, highlight-wise, last night. He stayed in. He gave up all 7 goals. For some reason now, Marco Sturm is not willing to play.
Well, it was an empty net on the 7th.
Okay, 6 goals. The point is he did not play well last night. It was his 4th start in a week. This is, if you want Swayman to make 60, 65 starts a game, a season, this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to play him a lot. And it didn't look like he was up to it last night.
3 power play goals for the Kraken last night. So
the Kraken were playing back-to-backs, but they've won a lot of games recently.
I think they're unbeaten in their last 9.
No, they lost to the Canucks, but they've won with the Bruins game 3. They had won 4 in a row. They lost, and then they had won 4 in a row before that. So they're 8 of their last 9.
Bruins, by the way, I've lost 8 of their last 11, including last night.
Yeah, it seems they've gone back to the mean.
It
seems like this is about where they probably belong. They belong.
Second to last in the division, 3 points out of a wild card spot. As I mentioned, Sturm's not playing as backup goaltender anymore. I mean, there are a lot of problems. The problems that existed before they got hot are now back.
Yeah, I mean, they're not a very good team. It was cool that they were playing as well as they were, but I mean, there's just not a lot of talent. And part of me is relieved. Now, I hope that they stay within, striking distance of a wild card. I hope, they can, when they come home, they've been out west, so when they come home that they can, put some wins together and kind of get back in the mix a little bit more. But at least it takes some of the pressure of Sweeney and Neely going, we got to do something to trade deadline.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if you just, make some very minor moves at the trade deadline, maybe a combination of buying and selling, and not giving up any picks, because that is the best thing for everyone.
Yeah.
Not being tempted. Yes, John.
One other thing. Morgan Geekie has gone ice cold.
Yeah.
Scoreless in his last 7 games.
Ice. It's hockey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Do you notice John's wearing a Rocky hoodie today? It says Rocky on it, and then in the middle of the O, it's the silhouette of Rocky with his arms raised.
Well, John likes to wear the spoils of his travels, and you know where John was over Christmas break.
It's like Marco Polo coming back with a bunch of spices. Only for him, it's...
Oh, you missed it. My first day back, you missed it.
Random hats and souvenir hoodies.
I got a souvenir hoodie. You guys missed it on the first day back. It was a Wawa T-shirt. You missed the whole thing.
I had a friend of mine that was coming back from a country, and he had to pay off a TSA guy in the foreign country because the guy wanted to be paid off. It was about something stupid. But John... He gets in there and he's just like he just gets to float across TSA because he goes, look, I'm one of you.
It's not. I mean, it's subtle in that it's a dark gray hoodie with Rocky written in black.
Yeah.
But once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's Rocky. It's promoting the film Rocky.
No, but you got in Philadelphia, correct?
It was given to me as a gift. I was not in Philadelphia at the time.
Yeah, but was it given to you by someone from Philadelphia?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But I've had it for like 3 years.
John, no one's asking.
I didn't just bring it back this year.
No, but it's a spoil of your travels. Again, it's from someone from Philadelphia who obviously visited, and then they said, let's give you garbage from some corny, like... And by the way, like a touristy store in Philadelphia, that's somewhere where you want to shop. Is
right around the corner from the Rocky Steps?
Yeah, off when you get off the cruise ship, right where you go in Philadelphia. They've got all the knickknacks and things.
That's right. Instead of that bad Jimmy Buffett museum in the Keys or wherever you were.
Well, they've ruined Key West with those things,
Yeah.
and I'm not even being like too cool for the room. I mean, when they put that port in Key West, it ruined everything.
So that's Philadelphia's version of it.
Was it a toss-up between that and the New Orleans hoodie with the saxophone in the middle of it?
I don't have one of those. Sorry, no.
What's something that was maybe Easy Rider when they're tripping in the cemetery would be like the sweatshirt that he has. I was just trying to think of anything on film about New Orleans that wasn't boring jazz.
Interview with a Vampire? I don't know.
See, never saw it, so I couldn't tell you. All right, when we come back, the conversation really gets going because we're doing an Eddie Trunk segment. Like it or not, it's happening. And it wasn't even my idea. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy.
close to 200 wins. He has reportedly been contacted by every team with a head coaching vacancy in the last 12 hours or so. The Seattle Kraken scored 4 unanswered goals to break up a 2-2 game. They went on to beat the Bruins 7-4 late last night at Climate Pledge Arena. Marco Stern's team was 2-1 on the trip, but overall there are a lot of things to clean up.
Bitter taste today, for sure, because that's something we have to learn as a group. Very immature, 60 minutes today, and those are the games we have to learn. Yeah, no, I take that 500 road trip anytime. Recovering from Buffalo and now going back home with that makes me happy, but again, we have a long way to go.
David Pastrnak scored 2 more goals in the loss, giving him 410 for his career. The Bruins are back at TD Garden tomorrow to play Calgary. Celtics use the building for basketball tonight. They continue a 4-game homestand against Denver. Randy and Max have the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Nikola Jokic out for the visitors with a sore knee, and the Red Sox signed pitcher Cutter Crawford to a 1-year contract yesterday to avoid salary arbitration. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Cross Insurance, known for building winning partnerships with teams of all sizes. The official insurance broker of the Red Sox, Bruins, and the Patriots. Visit crossagency.com. Cross Insurance, your team, your choice. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
If you've got the app, you've got Toucher and Hardy to wake you up no matter where you are.
Or who may or may not have been to jail.
Get the app, the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
When it comes to the show, Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
The particular cruise that Hardy's on, but Eddie Trunk does his own cruises. Like if there's a Sammy Hagar Cabo Wabo extravaganza, Trunk's going to be there. When Trickster played a concert in Rhode Island, right after Trickster played, after party, who hosted it, Eddie Trunk, because how do you get butts in seats? You have Eddie be the master of ceremonies, right? He keeps things... He can keep a rock and roll crowd like seated. He wears T-shirts with shirts unbuttoned over them.
Yeah.
And dungarees. He loves it. And what he does, he's on international radio. A company that at one point gave Howard Stern something like $500 million, said, we're going to take Afternoon Drive and we're going to give a guy a 2-hour show to talk about 80s, late 70s, and 80s hair metal and bands like Triumph.
Yeah.
These are, if you are, unless you're 60, these are the guys that were in high school while you were a little kid. These were the guys that were smoking beet weed and like doing Votech classes while you were like in elementary school.
They sit around the conference table at the Sirius XM headquarters and they're like, the 60-year-old dirtbags are underserved.
And that's why I love Eddie Trunk so much, is because it really is like a megaphone for dirtbags, like 60-year-old dirtbags. Like, it's the worst music. It's unequivocally terrible music.
It was awesome.
And it's a show that never veers off of it. Like, he's confused by rap. Rap has been around since 79. He's confused by rap. He's confused by everything. He... gets his big passion. He has 2 huge passions: the Super Bowl halftime show, and it sounds like Malcolm X. He sounds like Malcolm X because he's talking about like rock is the black person in the 60s.
Yeah.
And it is being treated like blacks in the 60s. And he is like, I will choose violence. I'm not Martin Luther King. He's like, we might have to fight back. And he'll go, hey, look, I'm not saying don't have a country or an R&B guy on. I'm saying rotate it. He goes, the Super Bowl's in San Francisco. No, you have a rotating stage. Metallica, Journey, Hagar. They're all from there. Sammy Hagar plays the halftime show at the Super Bowl. Of course he does. So anyway, we like to play a game with Eddie's audio. Now, you might not enjoy this, but Adam and I do, so just give us this.
What's Eddie Trunk talking about? Oh, yeah.
So what are the dirtbags talking about today, and who are they talking about? Adam, this is an Inception you've
This is
described
an Inception version of Ain't Talking About Trunk, where you have to figure two things out from this clip.
right.
Fred and Hardy, you can, John, you can play along as well. Hardy, you will actually probably be able to help out in the first part of this. Who is Eddie Trunk sitting down with and chatting with in this clip?
Camarello.
That's the first. No, not the Night Watchman this time. That's the first question. The second question is, of course, who are they talking about?
Jose Mangan
has been bleeped out so that you can have a little fun figuring it all out.
Okay.
Who's still alive in Slaughter? All right, here we go.
Are you going to be out there the whole time with him, or are you just designing it?
I'm on stage.
You're on stage with him.
Okay, that's Chris Angel.
Wow. Immediately.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. I know why you said Hardy would be able to help.
Yeah.
Magician.
He's completely a visual learner. I know my Chris Angel.
Yes,
And
you do.
And if you want to do yourselves a favor today, Chris Angel, unironically, in the late 80s, maybe even mid-80s, before he was a famous magician, was a wannabe rock and roller. He hired a production crew to come out and film his band doing a video on a stage, and he incorporates magic into the hair metal song. And it is something to behold. It's not a hidden video. It's very popular. But like they made a production video of his Long Island band. Like he was a Long Island dirtbag.
Yeah.
And I like that, dirtbag. Like Hesher, no one understands. But like he did like he'd be like, lady, you're so fine. And then he would like make something like a bird come out of his hands. Like it really is that.
Yeah.
So, listen, he's got a foot in rock and roll, all right?
Of course.
Plus, he lives in Vegas where Eddie splits his time, all right? All right.
Are you going to be out there the whole time with him, or are you just designing it?
I'm on stage.
You're on stage
I'm
with him.
on stage with the makeup, and he's my dad. And so father and son are going to do the show together. And so I'm performing. I'm performing this show with.
All right, it's not Gene Simmons because there's no way Gene Simmons is wearing makeup when he plays live. No, he's charging too much for tickets and canceling
And
shows.
the "he's my dad" is not a literal. It is
right.
Figured.
Right. Like he's my dad. Like he's the king.
And
are you singing at all or doing any sort of music stuff?
I've been asked to do that, so who knows?
Many smart people have asked me to sing. I mean, listen, all the surviving members of Foghat have asked me to sing at some point or another.
Oh, okay.
Look at if Brett Michaels is ever interested in just going solo. CC and the boys have asked me to front Poison. I mean, there's a lot of things I could do. Now, Bobby Dahl and I would both be brunettes, and that would be a first for Poison. We'd be split between blondes and brunettes, but this is something that has to happen.
So it's somebody who wants magic in their show. It's
Yeah.
someone older than the 58-year-old Chris Angel.
Well, not for sure. He said it was not literally his dad.
No, but I would think if you're going to refer to somebody as your father figure,
I got news for you.
have to be older than you.
This guy ain't going to be under 55 that he's talking about. I can almost assure you of that. I don't think Adam would have pulled that clip.
Okay.
And Eddie wouldn't be talking about it.
All right, so they want...
I would be very young for Eddie's show. I'm 50.
Dirtbag rocker, big production value, wants Chris Angel on stage with him. Chris Angel thinks of him as being the godfather of sorts. Okay.
Yeah, and Angel...
I already have my answer.
Angel is incredibly corny. Oh, I think I might know who it is, too.
Let's let it play.
Yeah, I'm not going to say either.
I'm not going to say it either, but...
Okay,
I think there's one really obvious
answer, and I agree.
Yeah, okay.
What will happen? But I can assure you that this is doing what does best.
I know. I can tell by that the bleeps have just enough to where I think I know.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm just honored, humbled to be standing on the same stage as a living legend, a music icon, and I'm not worthy.
Now, let me ask you this: Will it be his band? Will it be live music?
100%.
So live band.
Yeah, we're gonna have a band that he's currently on tour with.
Right, great band.
We shot the video. They're incredible. There's Tommy and Chuck and all those guys.
Tommy and Chuck.
Chuck.
All those guys.
John, do you have any idea?
I have a guess.
Okay.
I have a guess.
Are we right?
Spin that back a little bit, Fred. Just this particular part is interesting because Chris Angel beats Eddie at his own game. Chris starts dropping the names, and Eddie, you can tell, is he's trying to get in there.
Yeah, he's like,
wait, I'm the guy who drops the names.
I
here.
bowled with Tommy last night.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about Tommy. Tommy's fine. Tommy did his time in Saigon Kick. I mean, we know Tommy. All right.
And Chuck, his Uber Eats guy went AWOL, so I took him some soup.
Look. Listen, Chuck had more of his time being sick when he was touring with Lizzie Borden. I mean, we all were around for that. Yeah, the 1987 Lizzie Borden tour. They played Born to Be Wild. I think you remember that.
Great band.
We shot the video.
Which, by the way, Lizzie Borden did too.
They're incredible. There's Tommy and Chuck and all those guys. Musicians.
Yeah, Glenn.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Hey, dickhead.
Yeah.
Step back. I know the band, okay? You're talking Eddie Trunk.
Yeah, you may have just named the guitarist and bassist. I got the keyboard player and the auxiliary percussionist in my hip pocket. I know those guys.
Yeah, what do you know? The assistant lighting guy? Why don't you pull another rabbit out of your hat, Magic Boy, and let Eddie talk about who's in the bands? I got a magic trick for you. Here we go. I'm going to have, in 1 second, I can't even think of a name now. I've run out of names. Tom Kiefer's going to call in. Watch this. Kaboom, Cinderella's on the phone.
Yep.
Yeah. She an amazing guitar player. She is just
we're right. We're right.
Got it.
Rips.
They're all great.
It's crazy. So we're gonna have that. It's gonna be live music. And we're creating these. I'm taking these songs. Actually, Chuck's coming out. I'm going to be sitting with Chuck and my guy. I'm taking all
Chuck Garrick.
Yeah, of course.
Jesus, Eddie. Yeah, no kidding. It's Chuck Garrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck Garrick. By the way, this is on the radio for the nation, for the world to hear. You're sitting around going, A, I want to hear Chris Angel interviewed, and B, let's talk a little bit more about Chuck Garrick.
Right. Wait, which Chuck are we talking about here?
Chucky Garrick. Yeah, I mean, so the audience knows.
Oh, okay.
You and I know Chuck, but like for Joe Blow out there, he's got to know it's Chuck Garrick.
Oh. I'm going to be sitting with Chuck and my guy. I'm taking all
Chuck Garrick.
Yeah. Bass player. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And he's like kind of him and Tommy are kind of like the musical director.
Yeah. Chuck and Tommy handle the music.
It's big production, big stage.
And I handle the vibe.
Yeah, I got it.
And so I'm going to be spending a week starting November 29th at my house while I'm doing Mind Freak at night. I'm going to be taking all the stems, and I'm going to be
taking all the stems and then selling them to stupid kids because I've taken the buds off.
Mixing a little oregano. They don't know any better.
Yeah, like hey, stupid, you're not high. You've just been smoking stems. I'm take all the stems.
Taking all the stems.
Yeah, all the stems that they threw up at the last Trickster show. The stems of the roses that the ladies threw up. I'm going to take all the stems. I'm going to turn them back into roses. What do you want to know about it?
And I'm going to be basically creating the entire show musically from beginning to end, the set list, everything, how long things have to be, an estimate to be able to produce the visual for it. Going to do that together.
That sounds like a really good music show.
Yeah,
that you have a magician deciding how long things have to go on for.
Hey, Mind Freak, tell me, which apathy am I thinking of right now? Vinny or Carmine? Go. Read my
Do they
mind.
have a mustache trick question?
And we're going to it's not going to be like a song and then it's going to end and just applause into another song.
No. There's going to be applause through the whole effing thing. And then Black and Blue is going to come out. They're going to play a song. Everyone's heads are going to explode.
Yeah.
Going to be like these tableaus and these interludes and these, you're not going to know kind of exactly where it's going.
Right.
You're not going to know what the hell is going on or why you came.
if I could describe it, Eddie, for one thing to you.
Question.
Yeah.
If I could describe it one way to you, it's just like, Chuck, there's going to be tableaus.
It's gonna be a mess, is what this is.
It's going to be, look, man.
It's gonna be like a couple of high school drama geeks threw up on stage and said, "Here, buy a ticket."
Eddie, wear your tightest jeans. That's all I'm going to say.
And then you're going to
wear your puffy sneakers and tightest jeans. And whatever radio jean jacket you have.
You've been keeping a pair of Reebok aerobic high tops in a box. Now's the time to bring them out.
Yeah, if that Velcro strap's still on there, tighten it, because we're gonna rock and roll. Let's be honest. Wear an armband because it's gonna be Cliff Burton's anniversary of his death. So please, too soon.
It's wrong.
I'd be really pleasantly surprised with what song we hit on or we end up with. So it's going to be,
because it's going to be one of his 90s ones.
It's gonna
Poison.
It's going to be the one from Wayne's World. So
I was going to say it's going to be "Welcome to My Nightmare," but it's going to be at the end.
It's gonna, which is what you want to
Shock
end with
everybody.
too. The video for "Welcome to My Nightmare" with the ballerina. It's kind of creepy.
something that's going to be I'm going to treat this, it's a rock concert, but it's going to be theatrical like is known for, but it's going to be on steroids, and I'm going to do things with the show that's going to make it very, very special, that you have to see it in Las Vegas at Planet Hollywood.
Oh boy, woof. Yeah, it's going to be right after Free Wings.
I stayed at Planet Hollywood once, and every room has a movie theme to it. And you know what the theme of my room was?
Philadelphia.
Dead Poets Society. Because nothing makes you want to party like a suicide movie.
Yeah, like a dead kid.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's even worse than Philadelphia.
It kind of was.
Yeah, Dead Poet. Did they watch the end?
Apparently
They're
not.
like books, like encased in the coffee table, and big frame pictures of Robin Williams teaching the kids on the wall. I said, this sucks.
Did they ask for a picture of your father so they could frame it so you'd kill yourself?
I want a different room.
Hey, this is the part where they browbeat the kid into not being so, they figure, funny boy with this poetry, and then he goes and offs himself. Let's see a picture of your dad. Eddie's dad was very supportive when he was with Megaforce Records. He signed Ace Frehley.
Is it?
To
Go ahead.
really understand the impact and the immersive qualities of it, and the music, and just the fun and the emotional roller coaster that every single person in that audience is going to feel and be at.
Yeah, I mean, when they're at Planet Hollywood and they've spent, you spend $15 for a room, and you get done playing the 50-cent tables.
You don't have to pay anything for that. There's a resort fee, but the room is free. Yeah. John, do you know who it is?
Originally, I thought it was Marilyn Manson's way too young, correct?
Yeah.
So the only guy I could think of is Alice Cooper.
You were correct.
It's got to be. It's got to be Alice.
It is Alice Cooper.
For the first time ever, music legend Alice Cooper, Magic icon Chris Angel performed together live in the shock rock magic experience of a lifetime.
Gentlemen, I have sent you the trailer if you want to take a look at it, or I will explain to you. We have a giant. Frankenstein dancing around on the stage. Chris Angel is dangling from the ceiling trying to escape a what is that? Straitjacket.
How big? Well, how original? How big is the room at the Planet Hollywood, and how is that still a resort?
I don't know. I don't know the size of the venue, but I will be in Las Vegas in March. I might go to this show.
Don't go, because then I'll have to. Then I'll be green the whole time with jealousy.
Welcome to our nightmare at Planet Hollywood Resort in 2026. Limited engagements in March, April, and May.
All right. Well, listen.
It's a 90-minute show.
Oh, boy.
It's just Planet Hollywood shut down 30 years ago. I don't know how the hell there's still a hotel open under that theme. Is it still the Bruce Willis, Stallone, Schwarzenegger thing? Or are they just too cheap to change the awning?
No, they cashed out on that thing a long time ago.
Well,
they made their billions.
Yeah, exactly. They lost enough money. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment. We will talk about the Patriots. Mark Daniels will be joining us.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Discover Boating.
That's right. Sunday night is the night where John and Hardy are big grumps. They don't like it. I like that they're playing on Sunday night. This is the game of the weekend. That's what the NFL is telling you. By the way, they're chucking a game on Monday night, which I do not care for. I do not like that one bit.
Steelers get the stage to themselves.
Now, look, if you're asking me, on Sunday I watched the 1 o'clocks, I did watch the 1 o'clocks, but I needed friends around me. I needed I needed someone to talk to. I couldn't have done it alone. So I did watch those 1 o'clock games. They were terrible. Jacksonville had something to play for, but that game was decided, at the end of the first quarter. Then I ended up watching the Atlanta-New Orleans game just because it was interesting, because they kept flashing to these terrible bars. Mostly in Carolina was the terrible bar. Tampa's always got at least halfway attractive people there. Now, look, they're most likely doing very seedy things for money, but they've ruined a place they could have been eating. I mean, no one is going to argue with this, even if you're from Tampa. Tampa is a pile of crap. It's with nasty people. But nonetheless, there are more attractive people than Charlotte's. Just a purgatory for bankers in their 20s. You got to do your 5 years in Charlotte before you move. In fact, a friend of mine that was over was like, Charlotte's not that bad. He goes, I know a friend of mine's kid's going there. He just graduated from college. You go, banking? He goes, yeah. I go, yeah. How long has he got to serve that sentence for? Yeah, you go down there. You do your 5 years with Bank of America or whatever.
And then you get your choice of duty.
No, it's Bank of America.
No, and then you go into something somewhat I guess more glitzy in the banking world, and you go to New York City or something like that. Charlotte is I think a way station for most people, but and then of course you had the Patriots and the Denver game, and then you had the Sunday Night Football game. But Mark Daniels is kind enough to join us. He covers the Patriots for Mass Live. Sunday night, Mark. That means the NFL has deemed this to be the game, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you get two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, two of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL. So I get it. Drake May, an MVP. I don't know. You want to call him a favorite? One of the MVP favorites, and Justin Herbert, who's also good. Yeah, it's two good teams. I get the appeal why they're on Sunday night. For me, I don't like Sunday night just for pure selfish reasons.
Because you have to write a column that has to come out the next day. You have to write, basically.
Yeah. It's more like I'm going to get to bed at 3, and then I'm going to be up with my kids at 6:40, and I'm going to be grumpy. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, isn't it odd that you still have to get up with your kids, even though there is the money that you're making is required to raise them, but yet you are still supposed to get up with them, as if you would be a terrible person if you didn't do it. Oh, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, 6 and 8. I don't think they could get on the bus by themselves without some help. So yeah, that's on me on Monday mornings.
Well, I said last night, there's this issues with cars and a rental car, and my ex-wife was at my house with the kids. I go, we got to do something about me going to bed. There has to I'm going to be 51. You have to let me go to bed. At a certain point, you all have to realize that it's time. 25 years is supporting this family. It's time to realize that maybe I need to go to bed at some point at night.
Yeah.
You seem to have all ignored this for 25 years. The kids, less time, but my ex-wife, for 25 years, you've ignored all of this, and I've kind of just accepted it. My New Year's resolution is to push back a little bit and go, whoa.
I'm not doing that. I need to go to bed at that time.
Right.
So you guys will have to figure this out.
And then last night, the wheels. I told them I don't feel well. I was still making Milo steak at 8:30 at night and driving Zoe around. Forget it.
Why don't you make him shrimp scampi?
I don't know how to do that. I'd have to have John come over. All right. So anyway, look. I heard Felger and Maz talking about this yesterday. It was interesting. These warm weather teams going to cold weather cold weather, so obviously outdoor stadiums in the playoffs. Terrible records. Do you buy into that? Is a Harbaugh tough coached team? They're a tough physical team. Are they going to struggle in the cold?
I think just because they have a good head coach, I think it might be a little bit overblown. Like you said, John Harbaugh he's a good coach. He has a good roster. The Chargers defense is really good. Justin Herbert's a good quarterback, although he has, a broken left hand. I mean, maybe it gives you a minor advantage, but I don't think at the end of the day, like the Pats winning or losing is because the Chargers play in LA and they're coming to Foxborough. Like if the Pats don't play well, they're going to lose. This team's really, really good. So it's like, it'd be one thing if they had like an inexperienced head coach with a sort of a mediocre quarterback who's just sort of like backed into the wild card round, but you're playing, a decent, I'd say a good Chargers team. So I don't know how much you can rely on them, getting cold to beat them. I think you're just gonna have to play good football.
It seems like the '85 Dolphins, right? That had no defense and they were like all relying on speed in the passing game. Like you go into like a bad weather game, you're kind of screwed. And Felger Mez had facts, like they weren't making it up. Yeah. I mean, like what they were saying is true. It's just doesn't happen very often. But also, there's not a lot of outdoor cold weather stadiums anymore.
But yeah, I heard a lot of this too, and I'm thinking the whole time it's like, yeah, these teams that the dome teams that have to go on the road outdoors in the playoffs, and the numbers certainly back it up and point toward the Patriots being able to win this. But as much as it could be about these teams being soft because of where they play, how about that they're always the lower seed? They're the ones that are on the road.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are traveling. Yeah. So how much does that factor into the calculus of their record being so poor in these games? Yeah, they're having to play outdoors. They're having to travel. But they're also probably not as good a football team almost every single time based on the way they were seeded going into the playoffs. So, let's not ignore that fact, too. I'm not saying, Mark, that the Chargers are bad, but out of the two teams just going in, who's the better team right now?
Yeah. The Patriots are the better team, and I always point to like the quarterback. They have the better quarterback. They've had a better offense. The Chargers are missing 2 starting tackles. It's an interesting matchup. I haven't looked at a lot of the Chargers until this week, and like their defense honestly might be the best defense the Pats have faced this year around a lot of different metrics. I mean, they have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. They intercept the ball, I'd say more than every team other than one in the NFL. So I think the Pats have the edge, but like the Chargers are like 5th in total defense, 2nd interception rate, 6th in sack per pass attempt. Their points per game is, I want to say it's like 6th or 7th in the NFL. So like they're a really good team, but sort of some of their downfall this year has been injury. So Justin Herbert has a broken left hand. They have 2 tackles out. They were missing their rookie running back Omari Hampton for a good chunk, and I think their passing game and their offense, because of that, it's been a little inconsistent. So the Pats have a better team, but the Chargers are by no means a pushover.
The AFC playoff picture is wide open by all accounts, and the Patriots have as good a chance as anyone is getting out of there and going to the Super Bowl, but they're also very young and very inexperienced. What do you think a realistic expectation for this team now should be?
If they can, like, for me, it's like just win at least one. And I know fans might not love that, but if you can win at least one and get into the divisional round, I think it's somewhat of a success. But the fact that there's no Lamar Jackson and no Patrick Mahomes, and the fact that the Pats wouldn't have to play the Bills until the AFC title game, like there's if they can play good football, consistent football, and take no naps, as Mike Vrabel said this weekend, this should be a team that could get to the AFC title game. But for me, if they don't, and say they lose in the divisional round, I won't call it a failure just because of what you just said. It's the first year under Mike Vrabel. They have a lot of young players who haven't been in the playoffs, and a team just hasn't been together for a long time. So for me, it's just win at least one and play well in the divisional round. And for me, I would be satisfied with that outcome. But you do look at the playoffs, and what you said is like, it is wide open. Like, you win on Sunday, you're not facing the Bills, so you're either facing the Texans, the Steelers, or
Jacksonville.
The Jaguars. Like, all right, the Jaguars, Texans, and Steelers, do those teams scare you? Not exactly. You know what I mean? So, like, you win Sunday, like, 2 wins is very, very possible. So. Yeah. My whole thing is, though, I wouldn't be disappointed if they won one and then lost just because of where they are in this whole thing.
I'm with you on the Texans, and I think you and I might be alone, at least in this conversation, because, yes, while their defense scares me, I'm not afraid of C.J. Stroud. I'm not afraid of the Texans' offense. They're playing well, but that's not a team that there's precisely one team left in the AFC, and it's a team that you did beat once this year, but it's Buffalo, and it's Josh Allen, and that's.
But what if Jacksonville beats Buffalo? The problem I have with all this is that
still not afraid of them.
Is Jacksonville's you. Like, Jacksonville, like, you haven't done anything. Like, you have a established coach and a good quarterback. Jacksonville has a young coach, but they have a good quarterback, and they had a tougher schedule. They are the 3 seed. If you don't believe in Jacksonville, I don't know how you believe in the Patriots, right? Because there's no reason outside of this year to believe in the Patriots. So there's no reason outside of this year to believe in Jacksonville, if that makes any sense. It just, if Jacksonville beats Buffalo, something that you did once, but you lost to Buffalo, and then you got to go to you got to play Jacksonville, then Jacksonville's got to come here. Now that's a warm weather team, but I don't know why you wouldn't believe in Jacksonville. Like, I don't think that Jacksonville necessarily beats you, but it's not like all of a sudden they're garbage. If they beat Buffalo in the playoffs and you beat the Chargers, I mean, just by what you just said, they beat a better team. So here we go. Like that. Do you understand what I'm saying, Mark Daniels? Could you just dismiss Jacksonville?
Yeah, well, I think the thing is, like, all these teams in the AFC, I think other than the Steelers, I don't think the Steelers
are horrible.
Yeah, but like all these other teams, like they have shots. Like Houston can rely on its defense, and CJ Stroud was once upon a time an MVP candidate. And Jacksonville, just like you, went from worst to first, and like their defense also. I know people talk about Trevor Lawrence and Jacoby Myers, but like their defense is also playing really well this year. So like, yeah, if Jacksonville beats the Bills, they're a legitimate threat. I think it's just because their name is the Jaguars, right? If they had a different, if their name was like the Cowboys, I think people would be a little bit more afraid of them. Or maybe not. Maybe that's a bad example. But like the Eagles or the Chiefs, it's like, oh yeah, they have a pretty good team.
If it was basically any team besides Jacksonville, because I mean, Trevor Lawrence has won a playoff game. I mean, they've proven themselves this season. They won at the end of the year. They beat good teams at the end of the year.
They're playing much better than you. Yeah, they had 8 straight to finish the season.
Yeah, I mean, they're I don't know if they're playing better than New England, but they're it's a 1-year thing, but you're a 1-year thing. If that's the kind of the point I'm trying to make, is that like that it's completely open. If any argument against Jacksonville is an argument against the Patriots, in my opinion. That's all. Is that, because it's not like this has been growing for a long period of time in New England. I mean, this has been a surprise to everyone. I think wouldn't you think, Mark, this is a little bit of a surprise to Vrabel when he took this job, that even the way he talked, like he managed expectations. I don't think he thought they were going to be the 2 seed.
No, and they went into this year, wanting to, they signed veterans, not because they were just necessarily great players other than Milton Williams and Diggs, but they brought in guys that were good mentors, that were former captains. They wanted to change the culture in year 1, and they wanted to lean on playing younger rookies to develop them, right? Like, all right, we have to build through the draft. We're going to get a slew of free agents in here who are, like, for the most part, good people and culture changers. And then we're going to draft, hopefully get a good draft class. We're going to really play young guys to try to build something here. I don't think anyone saw 14 wins coming, from this year. I think even like the way they started the season, you lose to the Raiders, you're like, all right, this might be a little rough this year, but will Drake May, play well? Will he develop? Can the Pats get around 500? I don't think that Mike Vrabel thought they'd be winning 14 games, but you know what? I'll be honest, the way they went about building the roster with like the good people, I know maybe that people roll their eyes at that, but honestly, there's something about this group. They're so close knit. The team camaraderie is off the charts. Guys talk about that every week, every game, on how they all hang out and how they're all close. So maybe there was something they did that worked there, But yes,
I don't think it's off at all. Look at Baltimore and the Lamar Jackson problem that they have there. Apparently, they were revolving everything around him, and then it created rifts in the team and da 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 da. I mean, that's a team with more talent than you, and look where you are and look where they are. Mark Daniels, thank you so much for the time. Go off and handle your kids, even though you'll be up very late, and read Mark Daniels and Mass Live. Appreciate it, Mark.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right. We'll be right back. Here are the headlines.
Because it's a thing.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
Mr. Double, Mr. Bob Double, Mr. Double, Mr. Bob Double, Mr. Double.
Hey, we're Dutcher and Hardy. Del the Funky Homo Sapien had to be told that the Gorilla song he did was a hit. He did not know. He was walking around there. He goes, I didn't even know what it was for. The verse that he was on the biggest hit by then, right?
Yeah. It's Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Gorillaz guy. I never really cared for that. But I like Del the Funky Homo Sapien. I like De La Soul. I just didn't really care for that project. All right, so Paul Perillo, great NFL reporter, great Patriots reporter, and good friend of Hartay's, texted Hardy, and he kind of debunked one of these things that I've been saying. And what was that, Hardy?
Tell Fred that the NFL considers the 4:25 Sunday game the game of the weekend. That's the marquee matchup.
Okay, interesting, because he would know, is that here's why I thought it was Sunday night. I believe that's the most expensive game to buy, right? And then B is that they'll flex games to Sunday night. That's the game that they leave open to be flexed. So I knew it wasn't Monday night. The Saturday games are trash. I know that. Even though we had a reporter on yesterday that said they thought the Saturday night game was the biggest game. And it's like, no.
You know what?
No. No, that's just not true. Oh, it's Christopher Price, who's great, but I completely push back on that.
Robert Kraft, for years when the Patriots had the bye, always lobbied to get the Saturday night at 8 o'clock game for round 2 of the playoffs.
He did.
Yes.
Okay,
that
because
didn't talk to Robert Kraft, but that was the reporting at the time.
Because, well, he doesn't run the network, so I guess he's not in charge of the advertising. But the Saturday night game, the Saturday night primetime property is the least valuable primetime property of the week.
Sure.
At least when networks weren't streaming.
Right.
And everything wasn't on demand. And just, you can do it rationally. Like, Sunday through Thursday was obvious, is where they put the biggest programming. And then even Friday night, they pivoted to make kids programming, and Saturday night was just kind of a wasteland.
Wait a minute. I used to watch Love Boat and Fantasy Island Saturday nights. You telling me I was alone?
Those were on Saturday nights. That's a little before my time. When
I was a really young kid, that was it back to back.
Yeah, and so just Saturday night just they don't invest in it. It was always like a Saturday night movie or something like that, right? So I know in terms of network property, if you look at time slots as property, Saturday night out of all the nights of the week is the least coveted.
But the Patriots always used to play when they got the
I know, and that's
Saturday
why
night.
part of the reason I was excited about the Sunday night game is because I just recall, like my birthday's on the 16th. There's a reason I'm saying this, is that we'd be out for my birthday on the Saturday night of my birthday week, and invariably the Patriots would be on because it would be the divisional round after a bye, and they'd be playing some team that had no business being on the field with them, and it would just be like this throwaway affair.
I'm going to cut you off for two reasons. Number one, you just referred to your birthday week, which is a huge problem in and of itself.
The Saturday of the week of my birthday.
I don't care. That's not a thing. And second of all,
because you don't go out if your birthday's on a Tuesday, you go out that weekend.
Or you don't go out and celebrate your birthday like a child.
Having dinner with your family is childish?
That's right. Paul Perillo is on the phone because he has something else on this that's interesting.
Oh, good, Paul.
Freaking birthday.
Welcome.
It's like having my daughter in here.
How are you?
Oh, is it?
Oh,
I like that.
You guys,
wipe my bottom.
This is awesome.
All right.
Fred, stop celebrating your birthday like a child. What are you doing?
Yes.
The Saturday of my birthday week is not a ridiculous statement to make. I'm standing by that, and I'm pushing back Paul
Not for
Perillo.
an only child. I'll grant you that.
Well, I don't know any other way.
Yeah. All right. So, Paul, what is it that now the NFL considers the 4:25 Sunday the marquee game?
So we were reading some stuff yesterday. Matt Smith and Matt Smith is the head of Craft Sports Productions. He's my boss, and Hardy, you obviously know Matt pretty well too. He's more tied in with this TV stuff than I am, and he was reading some stuff to me yesterday sort of detailing why all the games got the slots that they received. I actually felt the Patriots were going to land in the 4:25 Sunday slot, and I thought that the Niners-Eagles would get Sunday night because, like Fred, I always felt like that's the marquee spot, the primetime game on Sunday. Reading some stuff yesterday, they felt like the most eyeballs of the weekend come in that 4:25 Sunday afternoon, and that's why they felt like Niners-Eagles was the best matchup. Now, what I thought was interesting was they felt Bears-Packers was probably the next best, and obviously Patriots-Chargers right in there. And normally they would have put they feel like the Sunday night game is number 2. But they moved Bears-Packers to Saturday night because they're trying to bump up Amazon Prime and get more, a younger audience there, figuring they get people streaming the game, maybe watching on their phones, different manners of consuming the product. I'm not necessarily sure I agree with that or I buy the whole theory, but and I wish I could cite information where we were getting it from yesterday, but it was just kind of something that Matt was reading off his phone. I'm not exactly sure where it came from, but it was not something that was just, we were just supposing. It was something that was written.
Yeah. I didn't think you were just supposing. So Green Bay, Chicago, that makes sense. If they think that's a good game, the only reason they would put that on Saturday night is to pump Prime Video.
Right.
So that makes sense. Obviously, the NFC South game is going to get the worst slot, which is 4:30 on Saturday, which I would suppose the research agrees, right? That's the worst game? Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So then what I would think is then Monday night is the worst game out of then is the next in that line. And then
I would just say Monday night, Fred, just sorry to interrupt, but I would say the Monday night game was going to involve Pittsburgh or Baltimore. Because
they had played Sunday night, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they were going to give them as much time to rest, I think. Just like if, looking ahead next week, if Jacksonville wins, the Patriots are going to play on Saturday because they're going to give the Houston-Pittsburgh winner a full, it'd still be one day left, but they're not going to make Houston-Pittsburgh, whoever wins on Monday, play on Saturday. So if Jacksonville wins, the Patriots will play on Saturday next week.
Because they'll have an AFC-NFC matchup on Saturday and an AFC-NFC matchup on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. Then they're not going to make Houston or Pittsburgh, whoever wins Monday night,
could turn around and play on
with
Saturday.
2 less days rest. Yeah.
Right. I understand what you're saying.
All right.
Okay. Well, but the Sunday night slot gets the NFL. The Sunday night slot gets that's the slot that gets the biggest choice of games. Correct? Just during the regular season.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. It's the marquee game of the weekend. That's why, I was a little surprised to hear all this yesterday as well, Fred. I was with you. I think the Sunday night game has always been considered the game of the week.
And just in terms of scheduling, real quickly, Paul, when does your birthday week begin in 2026?
Well, my birthday month is June. So I welcome any and all. You want to Venmo me a drink for my birthday? I know that's what the kids do nowadays.
You have such
a
problem, Paul. Jeez. Already with the drinking. It's June, please. You're not even having a dry January. All right, very good.
The Diet Millers.
There you go. All right, Paul Perillo.
The Diet Millers, absolutely, Hardy.
Thank you for calling in, my friend. Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, Fred.
Thanks, buddy.
Be good, guys.
All right, thank you very much. There you go. Interesting information. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
Back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey! We are Toucher and Hardy. Chris Forsberg is going to join us. Only one segment this week. I can't. We got Patriots when we talk about sports. Jim Harbaugh was fired. John Harbaugh, was fired. Alex Barth is going to join us at 9 o'clock to talk about the Patriots. But we have been having what I think is an interesting conversation over the course of the week. This is, and by the way, I'll just get this ahead of this. This is the opposite of old man yelling at a cloud, because this is the opposite sentiment of this. There is reports that the peak of social media use was 2022. And that since then, it's been going down about 10% a year. And they're saying that young people are not posting as much content. So basically, what in an argument that was made that I thought was interesting is that when social media, it would be MySpace or whatever, even Twitter at first, the algorithm was that you were going to see, if there was an algorithm, probably, right? But it was that your friends, your peers, that was going to be who you saw. Now it's you're getting shoved stuff. Okay, my take, and this is why it's not old man yelling at the cloud. First of all, very middle age, not old yet. 51, birthday week next week, Hardy. Well, you're older than me.
Yeah.
And you're vibrant.
I know. Virile, vigorous, and potent.
I call you Tribe Called Quest. You're a vibrant thing. So or that might have just been Q-tip. But my take is when these social media sites first start, the innovators on it are the ones that are cool, and they make it kind of cool. And then when every other, including myself, piece of garbage gets on it, untalents the thing up, and it just becomes garbage. And so that's what I think happens. I think it's what happened to MySpace. Facebook got incredibly boring. And when they put the algorithm into Facebook, then it became, why am I even looking at this? This there's nothing to do with like the girls that I banged, when in my 20s, that I wanted to see what they look like now.
It's about being fed 18-minute shock reveal videos that shock and reveal nothing.
Or some like staged video of something happening, or some reaction video of someone who knows they're being taped. A reaction is not a reaction if you know a camera's on you. You're performing at that point. Even if you think you aren't, you are.
It's turned everyone into performers. It's the phrase that I coined years ago was the age of technological indulgence, which allows everybody and their every creative thought to be recorded, edited, and posted and disseminated to a global audience. And there's no gatekeeping. There's nothing to stop this from showing up on your phone in front of your face. And to say that 99% of it is garbage is probably underselling it.
But the lack of the gatekeeper at first is great, because it allows these people like the dad boner guy Burns and these dudes that would never have gotten this opportunity for this kind of audience to get the audience and showcase their talent. But then everyone else goes, oh, and then they're not talented.
Yeah,
and
let
then
me puke my stuff all over here.
So here's an exercise that I wanted to do, and we all learned it.
The decline of Western civilization.
Are we in the midst of the decline of Western civilization? I am going to play a video from Instagram. We are then going to guess how many likes it got.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss why.
Yeah.
Because my theory is Instagram has to be dying because this stuff is objective garbage. Like, there's no way I don't care if you're 12. There's any cool 12-year-old that's going like, woohoo! Like this stuff that we're playing. And this is stuff that has come across one of our screens.
Yeah. This is not stuff that we sought out. This is stuff that we saw and didn't ask for, but here.
And even my son gets it because he actively sends me stuff that comes across his feed that he knows is dumb and that's going to annoy me because he gets a kick out of it when I freak out. And this is something that makes me freak out. This is Well, we'll find out how many people liked it. But this has come across at least a couple of our algorithms, which who's enjoying this?
We bring the boom. That's what we do. We bring the boom. We bring the boom to you.
Okay, so it's the Boom people.
Correct.
They're dressed as Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes.
Why? I don't know. And there's no reason that satisfies that. If this was on television, pick a garbage year, 1972, when the Brady Bunch Variety Hour was on. If you turn the TV on and...
We bring the boom. That's what we
And by the way, not the first week of We Bring the Boom, the second year of We Bring the Boom. And it's the same song sped up in Alvin and Chipmunk costumes. You're telling me that if this is on Instagram... that this is what the Instagram's going to be popular forever. Now let's guess how many people liked it. Actively liked it.
Oh,
we're to believe these are not bots.
I'm going to give it a heart because I really love it. It'll show up as a like, but I love this.
I want to help them. This is something that I want to help. I want advertisers and products, and I want their influence to grow. Let me be a part of it. If it isn't bots or whatever the hell else is responsible for this garbage, how many people not only saw it, and I don't comment negative things. Let them exist. I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at the world.
See, I don't pay attention to likes and that. So this could be absurdly low or high, but I'm going to say 50,000.
Oh, I don't think it's that high.
No, and the clip's only about a week old, but it already has racked up close to 10,000 likes. But this is another stat for this type of content that's interesting to share. 13,000 people have shared this. That's the other part of it is 13,000 people looked at the Boom guys do the Chipmunks and said, I gotta share this with my network. I gotta pass this along to somebody.
Okay, I don't believe 13,000 people like that thing. I don't. Now, my son shared it to me to tell me, to annoy me and to get me to yell. And then he'll tape me without my knowledge yelling and screaming about it. And then play it back to me and laugh. But I'm telling you, there's no way you saw a family that's done this song. Oh, my God, dude. If they make 5 videos a week, they've probably done this song, 1,000 times? And they just keep reimagining the song sped up. Why are Alvin and the Chipmunks funny? I understand it might be some effing meme or something, but there's no way a smart, cool 13-year-old girl is like, that's funny. And by the way, that's the future of entertainment, is the smart, cool 13-year-old girl, let alone an adult. Maybe a 90-year-old who's just happy that something wasn't Judge Judy came on. All right. So, again, the point is, if this is what the content on Instagram is, there's no way Instagram is going to stay popular. There's just no way. Here is something I'm unaware of.
Okay. This is Ms. Millionaire.
Okay.
Is it MIZZ?
It just Ms. Millionaire.
MS Millionaire.
Yes, MS Millionaire 17, because apparently there were 16 prior Miss Millionaire accounts on Instagram. But she's giving you some motivation on her channel.
Insert your...
Oh, hold on a second. No, we skipped one. Sorry.
Are we going to this one next?
Okay.
They thought the storm would break you, but they forgot you were made of thunder. Trust me.
Well, she's obviously in a mansion with that sound of the dirt bike in the background. There's a 12-year-old on a mini bike outside.
They thought the storm would break you, but they forgot you were made of thunder. Trust me.
Yeah, big mansion with the kid on the mini bike that you can hear out actively. That's obviously in Palm Beach.
Ms. Millionaire is also known as Patricia Bukowski.
She's Charles Bukowski's daughter.
Yeah, she has almost 40,000 followers. She's an entrepreneur and the CEO of Nine Frogs, digital creator and entrepreneur.
Well, first of all, congratulations on being a millionaire. And yes, there is a lot of look in the mirror. You're great, and that's entirely sad. That's very sad. that if you're, and we all feel bad about ourselves from time to time, and hopefully you're working on it. But if it's gonna, if I don't believe that anyone goes to Instagram and goes like, that's a nice thing. This person is that's good stuff.
She's posted over 1,000 times. Almost all of them that I can see are her sitting with a halo effect around
we have another
her
one.
face.
Watch out for people who are always bragging about who they are. A lion will never have to tell you it's a lion. Seriously.
Oh, thanks, Miss Millionaire. Sort of telling me that you're a millionaire just by your name.
Of course we have to try out the furniture.
It was the decline of Western civilization.
All right, how many likes has Miss Millionaire got with her message of don't be a lion in her dirt bike house?
Okay, well, based on the Boom guys only having 10,000, I'm saying she is only around 1,000 likes.
I'll say 2,500.
Yeah, she's cranking 6,000-7,000 likes.
Oh my God!
And getting 100,000 views per video.
How much money do you make from that?
We'll have to ask Kendra on Friday.
Because
clearly enough because you wouldn't keep doing it.
I don't know, because I get money from them because why not? And I've had videos get 250,000 views and I've gotten $7. So I'm telling you, maybe from corporate sponsorships and stuff like that, being a product. And by the way, if you're a product that is hiring influencers, you're an idiot. Or if you have a marketing team that's doing it, you're a fool.
Seriously.
Because the Boom guys are at a restaurant. Oh no, write it down. I mean, come on. It's so disposable, you're out of your mind.
Trust me.
Look, if you get the Kardashians to wear something, that's a different story. All right, and finally, this is who found the steak one?
Oh, this is I don't hate much, but I hate this woman, Elaine Carroll's
Yeah, you hate
Kitchen.
a lot of stuff. You hate Gary.
Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, I don't hate him. I'm just disappointed in him. Elaine Carroll's Kitchen. This is a woman who is a food influencer. There's a lot of these people that make these garbage recipes that no one is ever going to eat, and then they throw them in the trash, which is terrible.
Yeah, throw me in the trash.
She's got an interesting strategy, Fred, where she'll make a long video and post it, and then she'll go and take it and narrate her own video in real form.
All right, let me hear.
But she does it in a comical way, Fred.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what is on Instagram, and that is supposedly everyone is watching and is taking over the world.
Insert your boneless steak into your pickle rind. Add garlic, onion.
So the joke is she's mispronouncing the ingredient.
Yes.
Onion.
Well, she stole this from the Mr. Show.
Yes.
Remember when Odenkirk got up and he was the chef that mispronounced the ingredients, and then remember from there it went nowhere. That was the whole joke.
Potatoes.
Didn't Lenny Bruce do this? Didn't he get in trouble for?
Well, this is why he got arrested in 1967.
He got in trouble for mispronouncing words on stage.
Well, it's got to go somewhere, right? I haven't heard the whole clip.
And cherry tomatoes. Put the lid on. Put this in your fridge for 48 hours. Now we're just going to drain this rind. And pull out our steak. Everything bagel seasoning into the tray. And now I'm just going to toss my steak in all of that everything bagel goodness.
By the way, the recipe is to get everything bagel crap and put it on a steak?
Yeah.
How'd you figure that one out, Einstein? But you went to the grocery store blindfolded? What, was steak with everything bagel sauce? With salts on it. Wow! Whoa, you put seasoning on something?
Time for the stove. 3 to 4 minutes on each side.
Unless someone runs her over with a car, I want to know why anyone liked this thing.
And now we're ready to eat. Cut yourself a slice.
Yeah, cut yourself a slice of your wrist.
Ooh, a beautiful medium rare. You're going to take a bite and enjoy. This new way to cook steak has so much flavor. So easy, so good. You got to try it.
Oh, my God.
Of course we have to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
I can't. I just can't.
Okay, so how many likes did this get?
These videos.
A billion.
She makes them all.
That's a
Yeah.
voiceover of a previous
Yes.
video, so it's not going to have it's 1,000 likes.
This one has 34.7 thousand likes. Has been shared 45,000 times, and her videos again. She's narrating her own content. This isn't even it's an old video that she's now gone over again, and they regularly get 1 million views plus because it's rage bait. It's rage bait.
But how long can that last?
Apparently a long time, because I watched another creator goof on this woman like 2 years ago, and she's still out there making videos. That's how I feel after I watch one.
You got
my kids torture me with her the way that Milo tortures you with the boom.
You got to pivot off Instagram.
Yeah.
You got to try it.
Well, I'm
not you.
cutting
I'm talking
down
about businesses
in general. But yes, you're right about that.
I'm talking about businesses. Because Hardy and I were talking about this off air. When was the last time you saw something on Instagram that wasn't like a clip from a movie that you were like, oh, this is good?
Jasmine.
Yeah, well, that was an ad. Okay, a real ad can still get you to buy stuff. Like an ad on Instagram is just like an ad on the radio or on television.
Something like an original content clip. It wasn't from a movie that somebody produced, presumably, and put out there. I can't think. I can't think of anything that was good that I thought somebody's put together and said, yeah, everyone needs to see this.
I just know the ROI, return on investment, on paying an influencer to hold your crap, unless you've got like a TikTok phenomenon and you do it with like 100,000 people, is like 0.00001 cent. It's just the dumbest way to market your product. It's just ugh.
Garlic. Onion. Potatoes.
How many likes?
Cherry tomatoes.
35,000 for that.
That was a Will Ferrell character. He was the guy that mispronounced the ingredients.
God.
We're Costco guys.
We're Costco guys.
The decline
of Western civilization.
I hate that the Costco guys are a thing. I don't hate them. I swear to God I don't. It's everyone else. Just let them make videos and let them make them. Let them make them and show them in the living room.
We're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms.
It's never changed. It's never changed. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just never good. It wasn't funny the first time. Now they're literally on the tens of thousands of times. I look, every time I hear social media use has gone down, I get a little more excited for society. And then if something else pops up, then it will be like super cool for a while because innovative people will be on it and they'll do it. And then when everyone else gets on it, like Baking Lady, then it will ultimately be destroyed.
Yeah.
Because there are only I can't do anything on social media that's good. I don't have that ability. Only so many people do. But I got, like Hardy said, 99.999999999% of the people, including us, can't do anything good on social media. So once those people get flooded out by all the idiots, like had it happened on Twitter and MySpace and Facebook and everything else, this is what we end up with.
Seriously.
Did you go to a restaurant? Did you? Whee!
Trust
All right.
me.
We'll be back. Christopher Forsberg will do his weekly hit with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy.
taking on that challenge. It's been shown.
Jazzy.
I like this.
Yeah, it's a local guy, Colin Domigan. It's good.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's Colin Donegan, local guy. He figured this out. You know, Colin Donegan. He's doing something with Eddie Trunk and Chris Angel. Don't worry about it. We have to play in a Hollywood casino and resort. Chris Forsberg. He covers the Celtics for NBC Sports Boston. Hi, Christopher.
Yeah. Good morning, y'all. I miss you.
Yeah. Have you and Hardy spoken over the break?
In fact, we did. We had a long phone conversation. Very few people I will answer the phone for, but when you see Hardy pop up on the phone, you know it's important.
What'd you two chat about?
Fred, I can't divulge the.
What did you two chat about?
Well, Hardy. If Hardy's okay with me disclosing,
Why would he not be? What did you chat about? I'll be the judge of that.
We talked about all things like how our holidays were, golf items that we may or may not have received for Christmas.
Wait a second. Hardy, are you okay with this?
Yeah. So far, and he's on point.
I can see his hesitation sharing this kind of
and then there was some and then he was being a good friend and trying to help me. I have a high school junior who is starting the application process, and he had known I had inquired about something, and he was very nice and just helping me with some direction with her.
I was following up on something that we had talked about after the show one day, and I kind of had a momentary panic. I'm like, oh, I was supposed to get something to Chris
involving his child applying for college.
Yeah. And so we discussed
again, Chris, I completely understand your hesitation. This is
hot
buttons. You realize when you say that, you think that John and I think that obviously you were in some way trashing everyone here.
Yeah, that's how
something terrible happened.
Yeah, I mean that's not right, Chris.
Unless you're only telling half the story, Chris. In fact, are you telling the truth, Chris? Because it seems like you're hiding something.
Well, I'll tell you the truth of it is when I brought it up, I'm like, man, I'm so sorry. You and I were talking about this thing, and I was going to get you this information, and he had no idea what I was talking about. He really was, the conversation meant so little to him that I did not need to follow up, but I followed up anyway.
Yeah, he was cosplaying as someone who cares about his daughter. I understand. That was just something for your benefit after the show. I mean, we've all done it. All right. Well, Christopher, don't look now because no one has been. Ooh. But the Celtics, according to the latest ESPN ranking of teams, rank themselves at number 4 overall.
Yeah.
Just behind Oklahoma City, Detroit, and San Antonio. Boy, San Antonio is going to be good for a very long time. They might be good for 25 years. There's a situation happening there. But, I mean, obviously now expectations are completely different, even if Tatum doesn't come back, correct?
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I think the part of the reason that everyone is particularly bullish about where this team can go is the fact that, he's going to be back out there at some point. And regardless of what Brad Stevens does before the trade deadline to tinker with this thing, if anything, just the potential to add someone like Tatum to this mix is really intriguing and really, exciting for where this thing can go. Like, look, even I had high expectations for this team coming into the year because I thought people were sleeping on the talent that was still here. They've probably even gone beyond what I thought was possible to this point, and that's a reflection on what Jaylen Brown's been able to do and some of the younger players being ahead of of where I thought they would be to this point. But you start thinking about, there's a lot of good vibes about what's happening over there. I think they've only kind of like scratched the surface on how good they can be. I think there's a whole nother level for them to go to. And then you think about adding even at 85-90% of Jason Tatum to that mix. And considering the East remains very wide open, it's fun to think about where this could go. And I don't know, like the last 2 years have been fun, but that burden of expectations always kind of weighed on you. And it's been refreshing to have a year where maybe we didn't think this was as possible for them to be competitive. And so I don't know, it adds like a just a layer of fun to it, and it's been kind of a joy night to night to watch this team.
Okay, it's interesting you bring up the trade deadline because unless I'm wrong, it's less than a month away all of a sudden.
That is correct.
It's earlier this year. It's early February. So there have been some trade possibilities floating around, like one of them involving the Clippers center. Ivica Zubac was one of them. But overall...
Whoa.
Who?
His name is Ivica Zubac.
Yeah, Zubac.
Zubac.
Well,
Great.
My BAC is
very
going to
good.
be about 0.19 if we get our hands on Zubac, because there'll be a champagne party jam.
In theory, should the Celtics be aggressive and add someone like that?
I think the Clippers have turned a little bit of a corner. I suspect they will end up being buyers more than sellers, or if they do move a Zubac, it'll be a deal for someone more impactful. And honestly, like even if they were going the picks route, I don't know if the Celtics would want to mortgage the sort of picks that it would take. Now, all that being said, I think if Brad's going to make a move, the one move I think we all kind of agree that he should consider is not just someone that helps you in the front court this year, but long term. I think Nemish Keita's development has been one of the biggest revelations for this team, and Garza's resurgence has been probably the most unsuspected storyline as we flip to 2026. But I think we all know that they need something. They need a little more help with that.
Oh, Hardy, it's a resurgence, Luka Garza. It's a resurgence. He's actually playing now. He wasn't playing before.
They gave him a uniform and everything.
No, he's on the floor. I saw it happen the other night. Luka Garza, quality minutes off the bench. Chris, back me up on this.
Keita, I'll give you, Chris, but come on.
He's playing, Garza
Are they looking at Garza and rethinking their needs for the front court?
Garza's
like maybe
net rating.
we don't need as much help as we thought because of the way Garza's playing.
Hardy, I'm telling you, don't sleep. Development is never linear, and I was the first one to point out that there were flaws in Luka Garza's game. But honestly, his hustle since being reinserted in that lineup has been a huge reason why they've been playing some good basketball. Like it's insane deal. I always worry, is it sustainable? Especially as you get into the postseason, players that have defensive issues can be problematic for teams. And but I do think I don't know if it's, let's put it this way. If Brad was probably going to be more inclined to make a move to add for this year and solidify that front court rotation a little bit, I think maybe that's lessened when you, if nothing more, because Tatum's coming back, because you can play small. There's options there as well. But I think long term, it still remains the number one priority to add some depth there, to think about what is the long term plan for who's your starting center on the next championship iteration of the team. And maybe that's Keita, and maybe you just need another backup big. But right now, I think that's the one spot where they got to at least consider what the plan is. But you guys know what the conversation, it's always been, well, maybe they'll move Simons and add a big or try to save some money. The way the season has played out, the way the bench is playing right now, I think it's flipped a little bit, and there's at least some more consideration to how much tinkering you want to do with this team.
And that's what I was going to say. If I'd be the worst GM in the world, I would always give away the picks. I don't care about the picks. If I can get the player, you can have your picks. Give me the established, known quantity and picks I don't care about. But with the way, like you said, the bench has been playing, and some of these other younger guys, and they're the way they've played, they're probably going to be reluctant to part with players, like whether it's Sam Hauser, whether it's Garza, whoever. You don't know who's going to contribute, on any given night on this team right now. So that's probably what's going to make them gun shy.
Yeah, and I just think you have to be diligent. You only get so many swings of the bat, and picks are so vital whenever you have that opportunity to jump in. So you don't want to splurge what limited resources you have just to maybe patch what you feel is a hole right now, but it might not be a hole long term. And again, I think Brad's MO has always been, if he's making a deal, there's always a little bit of a longer vision with it. If you're gonna give up picks, you're gonna get a Derek White. If you're going to make a swing. And the other thing that's going to factor in is there's going to be guys in the buyout market. If you just need someone to add some depth, as someone as a piece this year. There's other means to do that. If the right guy becomes available, though, it's something you've got to monitor. And I do think Zubats fits that mold. It's just I just feel like if they're going to move him, the price is either going to be multiple first-round picks, and that's prohibitive, or it's going to be they're going to look around the league, and if they can go chase an Anthony Davis or like find another way to get a more established player, they can dangle him to a team. And I just think it's probably more intriguing possibilities than what the Celtics might be able to offer.
All right.
Well, Christopher Forsberg.
Am I rooting against the Patriots at this point so that I have more airtime?
Oh, don't think of it like that.
Oh,
And, yes.
come on.
Yeah, I guess I would be.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want
the
you.
quicker they're gone, the quicker you get back that second segment.
So I want that to be the little carrot for the people of New England. I'll not root against your team. I will sit there and root along with you. But if the season is to end in disappointing fashion, more Forsberg.
Well, Chris, I make a video of that, Nick, because we can explore this Efton Chisholm video that 98.5 The Sports Hub put up, which is a great video, and I love it. And the comments are fantastic. They're all mad at me, but Blind Scott is on there.
Yeah,
I just looked at it for the first time. I honestly had not looked at the comments until recently, until this morning. And Blind Scott is just on there fighting the fight, baby.
Yeah,
he's telling people I'm a millionaire and I got this and that I belong to a country club in Tellico Village. He's really got my back. So,
wow,
Blind Scott, if you could defend Forsberg if he gets any heat from the people about his wanting the Patriots to lose. Chris Forsberg tonight. Celtics are playing at home, so check out Chris on NBC Sports Boston. Chris, you're the best. Thank you so much, sir.
Later, y'all.
All right, appreciate it. We'll be right back. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub.
7 words.
A guy in tights and a cape.
And Hardy with blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
Never cross a line if you only snort it. If you can't work it, then what's your purpose? On that surface, looks like a circus. All these clowns around pull the curtain. She looks like she won't meet for service.
We are Toucher and Hardy, and during Chris Forsberg, I was telling Hardy this, and this is the honest to God truth. Look, I don't like it when people make fun of me, particularly I have feelings like anyone else. Like, my feelings can be hurt. But whenever 98.5 The Sports Hub puts a video up of us talking about sports, I won't look at the comments because I know it's serving its purpose. It's like rage bait. Nick, did you make this video?
He did make this video, yes.
All right, so it's a great video to put up, and I was very happy with it. And here is just the clip of the video Nick made a couple days ago. It's up on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Instagram account. Afton Chisholm, incredibly annoying player.
Why?
Too much razzmatazz for an undrafted loser.
For a guy who made his second catch of the season yesterday.
Yeah, every time he catches the ball, he's like flipping his arms and having fun. Like, all right, you suck.
Was he the camp standout player? I mean,
He
was
was.
that? I mean, was that?
He was the
that
guy. Yes, he was.
the award?
How
this
come
year?
Afton Chisholm isn't active for week 1?
Right.
That was the big thing.
Every catch, he's floating wide open, ignored.
He was this year's Buddy Farnham, but he actually made the team.
And then he turns around and he gets cooking until he's ultimately shoved out of bounds.
Well,
he's
returning punts late in the game.
He's got 30 yards between him and any other defender. He manages to pick up 15, and then he goes, woo, woo.
He's very
and
excited.
claps his arms.
Yeah.
He should annoy you, too. He'd annoy me if he was on the Jets. He would just annoy me. Like, all right, kid, with your 4 catches, relax a little bit with your little celebrations. Now, I love that video because we're all in on it. I think it's a good representation of the show. We're all having fun with it. And I really feel that way. He annoys the hell out of me. He's a loser little white kid that acts like he did something big when he's in a blowout, catching meaningless passes. So he does. He annoys me. He would annoy me on any team, but I happen to watch the Patriots because, it's my job. And so I won't look at the comments because I know invariably what they'll be because it's like a rage bait thing. It'll be like, if they know the show, they'll go, Fred's miserable, which is, true. And then it will be other people that just don't know the show, and they'll be like, Lions. They'll comment on our hats.
Right.
And by the way, we have to wear hats. I'll take it off now for YouTube. Like, I got to wear a hat, and so does, especially me, just because the way the lights hit me, because it makes my hair look like bright red. And I'm too vain. I can't.
I only wear the hat because I do not shower in the morning. I shower
I don't
the
shower
night
in the
before,
morning
right before bed, and then I get up and I try and get dressed and out of the house as quickly as possible so I can maximize sleep.
You streamline the process, same reason.
Like if I'm going to the Bruins game on tomorrow night, if I'm not sick, and if I go to the Bruins game, I'm not going to have a hat on. Like I don't wear a hat out every time I go outside.
Well, not to a hockey game. You're supposed to dress up a little bit. Back
it's like,
in the day,
like
put
flying.
a suit and tie.
Yeah, it's like when you go on an airplane.
That's what it used
But
to be.
anyway, so but people comment on these things, right? Now, what has interested Hardy and I, because during Forsberg, I did look at the video. It was the first time I looked at it. It's been up I collaborated on it like maybe yesterday morning. It was the first time I ever looked at it, the comments. And I know that people are going to comment, but what's great about this is Blind Scott's on here just going nuts. This is what Blind Scott, the comments he's making. So there's comments like, delete your pod, man, ripping on an undrafted rookie. I'd love to hear what you have to say about Edelman. Chisholm is like that. Yeah, he's a little white kid. Why isn't he, bro, he's just excited. That means his opportunity in the NFL also means not for, there's some people that are actually in on it. Whatever, people are just like, I'm a piece of garbage, da-da-da-da-da. But then Blind Scott comes in, and he's like, I don't know if you've ever had Fred's lasagna, but his mother makes a really good one. Better call Fred, better call Fred, better call Fred. Fred gives gifts out to everyone, and he doesn't take anyone from anyone. You get a check and want to get a check. Hey, Ryan Beaton, you want to get a check? Here you go. Fred would be number one in any radio market. Yo, what's up? Y'all just want to tell everyone that it's Fred's birthday, January 16th. He's a great guy. He's a hero, and he's cool, and he's good to the disabled community. You don't like it, take a canoe to Nantucket. So he just...
somebody just posted... presumably to you, Fred, enjoy something for once. Blind Scott jumps in. The dude has the most beautiful life. You could imagine membership at a country club of dollars, of millions of dollars in a place like Tellico Village.
Yeah, that's a bunch of jumbly jump, but whatever. I don't have a country club membership in Tellico Village. It's where my parents live. But the great thing about Blind Scott doing it is that if you're commenting on that, you're not any better than Blind Scott. Like he's playing the same game you are. Like here's Blind Scott, a blind guy with nothing to do in the North End, and he's doing the same thing you're doing. And does anyone that posts on these things, and if you're a fan of the show and you're like Fred's a miserable dick, I get. But if you're just some random dude that came across the video and you're like, yo, this pod sucks, like you doing that is no different than Blind Scott just rambling audibly into his phone while it dictates his thoughts.
And heaven help anyone who goes back at Blind Scott. It's not just...
Do you have anything there? 'Cause I don't.
You settled in for the afternoon if that happens.
Why are you replying to every comment on here defending the radio show like it's Fort Sumter? Because I defend it with honor, because I love Hardy, Robert Hardy Poole. Everybody loves the guy. Actually, it's the highest rated radio host in Boston. Yeah. I think you might have a personal issue going on. He's actually very well liked. He's respected in the community, and he's very handsome.
Yeah, see, so... And you're fighting with Blind Scott. When is the come to Jesus moment in that for you? Like you're arguing with Blind Scott in the comments under a video. At a point, you got to go, oh, no. No, I've erred on the way. This is all Blind Scott has to do. And people are like, well, mute him. No, I will not. It points out everything wrong with you. He has every right to do this nonsense too.
Then it's not just the show. Sometimes it's like whatever the subject matter. Someone said Efton Chisholm. He added him. He said, "Keep these receipts." Blind Scott, keep your receipts. No one cares about you, and then throw them in the fire. He needs to keep the receipts because he's not going to make any more money after this ever again.
Don't add Efton Chisholm because I can only imagine the rage boiling in him. That someone dared say that he was not good at football. Well, listen,
someone else really said that. You just said he annoys you.
Someone else went after Blind Scott.
I actually didn't say. I don't know if he's good or not.
You never really said he was good or bad.
No, I actually don't know if he's good or bad.
His actions annoyed you.
No, he's annoying. He's annoying. He is annoying. He annoys me.
The guy must have said something to Blind Scott and then deleted all of the comments because all that's left are the comments that Blind Scott made back at him. I was saying it was a good take. Why are you swearing at me? You're trying to raise money for your daughter?
Oh.
I'm saying it was a pretty good take, and now you're swearing at me, and I go to your profile, and it's like you're trying to do a fundraiser for your daughter. How's that working out for you?
So I replied to one guy on there. There's a guy, and it's like, Fred sucks, da-da-da-da, but then he's like, Beasley Media is a bunch of crap. They for even hiring this guy, what a piece of garbage company. And his handle is that he is a sports talk radio host. He's some kid that wants to get into sports talk radio. He's on some some college nonsense. I wrote him back. I go, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, you can crap on me all you want. You can crap on, like, one of the two broadcasting companies you could get a job in the Northeast, you idiot. Like, what fool? You stupid idiot. Rip on me all you want, which I wouldn't do anyway if I wanted a job. Because if anyone searched your socials and saw you were crapping on me, they might go like, what the hell? But Beasley Media is going to go, you crapped on us. F you.
Yeah.
You better be pretty effing talented if you're going to start burning bridges. I don't even do that.
Here's a quick tip, too. These media companies have been paying attention to online content lately. So, lest you think your comment will go unnoticed. Yeah. No, they've kind of made a point of paying attention.
Yeah, like I wouldn't, rip on, and I put the comment just to kind of like heads them up. Like, he's actively looking for a sports talk radio job. Like, I wouldn't alienate, like, one of the three companies that could hire you. Like, and I understand you can make a podcast on your own, but if you want to get into sports talk radio in the Northeast, Odyssey and Beasley, two. So you just alienated one, you idiot. So congratulations. You better get a job at Odyssey, or you better be really good. Ugh. Well, Alex Barth has got a job with Beasley Media, and he's a good guy, and we will talk to him about what's coming up on Sunday in just a moment.
Against the LA Chargers in Foxborough on Sunday night. Arizona has also reportedly requested permission to speak to Patriots passing game coordinator Thomas Brown for their head coaching vacancy. In other NFL news, a shocker in Baltimore, the Ravens fired head coach John Harbaugh after 18 seasons and 193 regular season wins. Bruins finished up their West Coast road trip with a loss late last night in Seattle, 7-4. This was a 2-2 game late in the second period, but Berkeley Catton and Capo Caco had 2 goals apiece for the winners. David Pastrnak, 2 goals for the Bruins. They earned 5 points total on this 5-game road trip. They're back home to play Calgary tomorrow night. Celtics play Denver at TD Garden tonight. The Nuggets will be without 3-time league MVP Nikola Jokic. He has a knee injury. Grandy and Max had the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And the Red Sox avoided salary arbitration with starting pitcher Carter Crawford. They signed him yesterday to a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Eastern Massachusetts' leader in drain cleaning and pipelining. Drains by James. Slow drain, clogged drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
And he scores! What a blast by Pastrnak!
The Bruins play here. Kutcher and Hardy.
Individuals who seek acceptance, respite, and care.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Yeah, super excited. This will be my first playoff action.
Been taken in the draft, first round Ohio State receivers. Ibuka from Tampa Bay, Marvin Harrison Jr., the Cardinals, Jackson Smith,
Njigba. Jackson Smith and Njigba, yes.
From Seattle, who's been fantastic. Chris Olave in New Orleans and Garrett Wilson with the Jets. Marvin Harrison is not the best out of them.
No.
And he was supposed to be the generational receiver.
And Smith and Jigba is the best out of them right now.
Yes, he's the best. And I take Wilson ahead of Harrison maybe too. By the way, Wilson led the Jets in receiving with 372 yards, and he missed.
That's remarkable.
Half the season.
No, we were talking. I was talking. My son is a huge college football fan. It's either LSU or Ohio State. LSU has better top end talent, but depth-wise, it's Ohio State.
But it's just that Marvin Harrison, and maybe it's because of the quarterback play, and you never know. But it's like Harrison was supposed to be regardless of who was quarterback.
You remember before the draft, the word here. Oh, you got to take the wide receiver. You got to take Harrison. You need a number 1 wide receiver. How'd that work out? It's you. If you don't have the quarterback and you don't have the offensive line, the wide receiver does not matter.
I can assure you that's true.
Does not matter.
If you don't have the quarterback, nothing matters. All right, Alex Barth covers a team with a quarterback, fortunately, for 98.5thesportshub.com. He covers the Patriots. Mr. Barth, hello, sir.
How we doing, guys? Good morning.
Good morning to you. Did you know that despite what I thought, the Sunday night game is the second most important game of the weekend? That the 4:00 game on Sunday is considered more important. Did you know that? Isn't that interesting?
I did not. I actually didn't know that. Just based on where the league puts it.
So Perillo called in and he said that he was talking to Kraft Media, and they have this evidence-based thing that you want to be in the 4:30 slot, because I always just assumed because they'd flex games into 8:00 and Sunday Night Football is priority over everyone else, that was the elite game. Obviously, New England, Los Angeles, 2 huge markets, 2 good teams. You can make the argument that it's the best game of the weekend, but that is not the case. I just found that interesting. Perillo
I didn't know that.
Well, he needed to correct me.
It kind of makes sense, though. I mean, if you're no particular fan of the Chargers or the Patriots, and you're on the East Coast or even Central Time Zone, are you going to forego the Sunday scaries and stay up late on Sunday night watching that game, or are you more likely to watch it in that time that football fans all have set aside on a Sunday afternoon? That's what I'm doing up until this point. I think the Sunday night game is optional for a lot of people.
Sunday night, though, is valuable television property. Sunday afternoon's not. I mean, it just Sunday night, The Simpsons. Family Guy. Fox has made a whole network based on their Sunday night.
Starting
programming.
earlier though, like 7 o'clock. I wonder how much, how much it tails off later on as opposed to other days.
Oh,
of the
I'm
week.
sure that if it's a bad game, it certainly tails off. All right, Alex, here we go. Going into Sunday night, give us your takes on this matchup. As it's a good head coach quarterback combination that maybe the Patriots haven't seen this year.
Yeah, I think a lot of people downplayed the Chargers, and I think two things can be true. I think the Chargers were the easiest matchup, or I should say the less tough matchup of who they realistically could have faced in the first round. But that doesn't mean they're a cakewalk. This is not a tomato can team. Like you said, good coach, good quarterback, although we'll see how healthy he is. But this is a team, and this is a team that I think matches up well with them strength for strength and weakness for weakness. A lot of the times, in these playoff matchups, we talk about like the strength on strength, right? And who's going to win there, and that can determine the game. And in this game, it's the Patriots passing offense against the Chargers passing defense. I'm actually more fascinated in this game by the weakness on weakness matchup, which is the Patriots pass rush against the Chargers offensive line. That's supposed to be a strength for the Chargers. They've gotten just a horrible run of injuries up front. They're down both of their tackles, and the Patriots pass rush has been streaky at best. And it's gone through games. It was good the last couple weeks against the Dolphins and Jets, but against some better opponents, it's kind of been non-existent. So can the Patriots get to Justin Herbert? He's been the most pressured quarterback in the league. Can the Patriots get to Justin Herbert, get some pressure, which they haven't done consistently this year, but their defense looks much different when they do? Or does the Chargers' banged-up offensive line get a chance to maybe have a little bit of an easier day and give Herbert some more protection than he's had all season and let him really throw the ball around?
I heard Bedard on yesterday with Felger Maz talking about, he was asked, how do the Patriots lose this game? What mistakes could they make? Because they've been, remarkably consistent in most facets of the game. But Bedard had an interesting, I guess, theory. He said, if the Chargers are able to do something defensively to confuse Drake May early on and trick him into some kind of a turnover, and you give up the lead early, that would happen. So my question to you, Barth, is what are the odds that the Chargers are going to be able to come up with something defensively that's really going to confuse Drake May?
Well, they have been good at forcing turnovers, especially interceptions. They've been a good turnover defense. The other thing they've been good at, and this is another strength on strength thing, of keeping teams off schedule behind the sticks. They have one of the longest average distances to go on third downs defensively this year. The Patriots have been good in those situations. How many times they've been backed in with 3rd and 15 and Drake May bails them out? That's not going to be as easy to do this week. So to me, it starts on early downs, getting them behind the sticks. If the Patriots have to play behind the sticks, it's going to be a lot harder than it was against a team like the Jets. So if they can do that and force some turnovers, that to me would really open the door.
Are the Chargers good at forcing turnovers? Have you looked into that? Is the big plus minus with that?
Toward the middle of the pack and plus minus.
Toward the middle, but there's volume. So they've forced a lot of turnovers, but they've turned the ball over a good amount.
Okay.
In terms of differential.
All right. And so do you think that that the Chargers are going to be able to run on New England?
It depends where Robert Spillane is at. I think he makes a huge difference. The run defense was so good when they had him and Milton Williams and Kyrus Tonga at full health, and they've been without those guys. Spillane, I should throw Tonga in there too, are just such unknowns. And, if those guys are close to 100%, we saw what the Patriots did even against good run teams early in the year and were able to shut them down. But if Spillane's still banged up, if he doesn't look right, if Tonga doesn't look right, if he's not back, we've seen what this run defense is as of late. It was better last week. Milton Williams made a couple plays, but there were still holes. So it'll be interesting to see today. I heard John say in the update, right, they'll have their first practice. Is Robert Spillane back on the field? Is Kyrus Tonga back on the field? What's the injury report? I worry a lot less if they have those two guys and those two guys look healthy. If not, I do really worry about the Chargers' run game.
I know that everything about Spillane was that he was kind of like walking around. He didn't have a boot on anymore. So it seems to me, just by what I've heard, that it seems kind of likely that Spillane would give it a go, at least give it a go in this game. Have you heard anything about Tonga? I haven't heard anything about him. Yeah, go ahead.
Not since that initial report. I think it was Ian Rappaport who had said a day or two after the injury that it was expected to be a 1 to 2 week injury. So that kind of reason, like, all right, he's done for the regular season. You hope he's good to go for the playoffs. But we haven't gotten an update since.
Okay.
Ultimately,
I'll say this on Spillane, too, to your point about, like, we think he's going to be back, but how healthy is he? A lot of the Patriots' issues in the run game have been, they get to the back 2 or 3 yards after the line of scrimmage, but the guy's able to fall forward and, like, carry tacklers with him, and suddenly what should be a 3-yard run turns into, like, a 7-yard run. Spillane is so good at preventing that, but if his foot's not 100%, how effective is he going to be in that regard?
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question we asked Mark Daniels earlier. Obviously, the AFC is wide open by all accounts here, the playoffs this year. The Patriots have as good a chance as anyone to win this thing and go to the Super Bowl, but there's a lot of inexperience up and down the roster. What is a good expectation for Patriots fans this year?
I think at least winning one game, certainly, right? Getting by the Chargers, getting the divisional round. Let's see who they play in the divisional round, what that matchup looks like. But to me, one playoff win, it'd be disappointing to come out of this without one playoff win.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you should probably beat the Chargers. You're a favorite in the game. That, they're banged up on the offensive line. You played so well this year.
I think so, too. And, this is where it comes to resetting expectations. And, yeah, if we're all beholden to what we felt about this team before the start of the season, you'd say you're nuts. Just because they didn't win a playoff game, you think they somehow fell short. Well, no, I wouldn't. Nobody thought that at the start of the season, but they've played so well, and they put themselves in a position now to where, you got to move the goalposts.
Okay, so let's look at Baltimore, right? So, in what's gone on in Baltimore since Lamar Jackson's been there. Lamar Jackson wins an MVP at an earlier age than Drake May is now. Okay, wow, like we're built to win, like we're going to win all this. So say you lose you lose to the Chargers. Then next year you play that schedule, and now you're a wild card. Bills win the division, and you're a wild card. You have kind of the same schedule as the Bills. The Bills then split with you and win the division. Now you're on the road, and you lose in the first round. You got to take advantage of being the number 2 seed in the playoffs. I mean, you played well enough to be the number 2 seed in the playoffs.
Yep.
You need to win a playoff game. I think that's a fair expectation because there's no guarantee that you will next year. There's no guarantee you're going to win the division next year.
Right. There's a lot of urgency here just by looking ahead. I agree with that.
Well, I think that you're going to be a better team next year than you were this year. I don't know.
The schedule gets exponentially tougher.
I don't think your record's going to be better, and then there's no guarantees that you win once you get into the playoffs, as everyone knows. All right. Alex Barth, good stuff. Read him at 985thesportshub.com. He'll be around everything going on with the Patriots leading up to Sunday night's game. He'll have everything leading up and after the game. Alex, appreciate everything. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
Barth. Appreciate it. There you go. We kind of our own conversation there, but I do think that they should beat the Chargers. I would be very disappointed if they don't beat the Chargers.
Yeah.
After that, it's kind of like house money, but because again, I just look at teams. I look at what happened in Baltimore. A very good coach, a very good young quarterback, and they didn't win anything. And it's just, look, you would think you're not, by attrition, you're not going to lose much in the offseason. You're going to have a draft and a free agency to get better. So maybe you're even a little bit better next year than you were this year. I mean, we'll see about Diggs and everything else, but say you're a little bit better. Again, you play that schedule. Is everything going to fall right for you? Is everyone going to be that bad again?
You could be inarguably better on paper with the roster next year and have everything go right. And because of that schedule,
win 10 games.
I was going to say be 11-6 as opposed to 14-3, and not think anything of it as you're watching the season unfold because the schedule will be that much harder.
That, and it's also the travel. It's Detroit on everything we've led to believe is true. It's Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. Maybe there's an international game in there first couple of weeks of the season, and they're going to the Western time zone more than once.
Well, there's an international game.
Think about how
we know that.
Well, I mean, think about how easy the travel was this year as opposed to what's coming at them next year.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees. So, again, it's just enjoy the Sunday night game. I think they should win it. I would be disappointed if they don't. Everything after that is kind of like, everything's so even outside of the Steelers. What are you going to do? But, they should get one playoff win. You win 14 games. You number 2 seed. You should win a playoff game. You should win a home playoff game. Absolutely. I think big disappointment. I go so far as to say big disappointment. It doesn't negate all the positives of the season or that you overperformed and all those things, and it doesn't mitigate the excitement for next year. It's just we've seen there's just no guarantees. Great young quarterbacks with very good coaches have gone and had losing records in the playoffs because just that's how football is, you know? And then 18 years later, you're fired because you couldn't put it together with the kid. And now you're in this like limbo. So you have this combination, go off and win. It's worked way, way quicker than anyone thought, than Vrabel thought. There's no way Vrabel thought they'd win 14 games this year. There's absolutely no way when he inherited this team. He thought he had a lot. He knew he had a lot of runway, and he was putting together the team the way that he wanted it. And
I'll double up the win total. If I get to 8-9, I'll probably be considered a hero. But
he would have been considered a hero, but I don't think he had any expectation that May was going to be nearly this good right away. And
do you really think when he said, "Okay, we're going to start rookies at left tackle and left guard," that he thought, "Oh, no problem. They'll lock those 2 guys in. That'll be great."
Just look at their roster. I mean, no, the roster's not that great. It's just not. It's not.
We're going to get rid of 2 experienced safeties and start a rookie back there, and we're going to be great.
No, and Carlton Davis, a free agent they brought in, hasn't been great. And I mean, like one of the big free agents you brought in, I would argue Carlton Davis hasn't been very good this year. Milton Williams, you hit out of the park. I mean, there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Who knew that Spillane and Tonga would be very important to have on your team? Tonga especially. Who knew Tonga was going to mean? You'd hear Tonga's name more than one time on the radio.
Yeah, that was a throwaway right before camp, if I remember right.
No one had Tonga meaning anything. No one.
Tonga being meaningful was not on my bingo card.
That wasn't my 2025 bingo card. All right, we will be back in just a moment. We'll get to our award-winning email segment. I hope you guys have gotten emails because I have not gotten that many, except from Blind Scott, and I don't read those. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
It's the award-winning email bit. And our email bit, the Toucher and Hardy email bit, is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. You understand? Don't just send an email. Call all sevens. What do you mean all sevens, Fred?
I didn't even have it in front of me, but I remember from yesterday. That's how easy it is to remember. 617-777-7777.
That's right. 6-1 and then all sevens is how you get the get Glassman, Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. Or you could visit gottagetglassman.com. All right. If you would like to email us, we do appreciate emails, as they are the most intimate of, I suppose, ways you could reach out nowadays. And that is, you can go to 98.5 The Sports Hub to find that. You can follow us on socials and see Blind Scott responding like a wild man to everything said on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Instagram page. Follow us on socials at Toucher and Hardy. Follow Hardy at Hardy985 in my budding business where I've got a $12 check from the Meta Corporation. I'm on the payroll now.
Nice.
At Fred Toucher for my and you can see the gift my daughter gave me, a shirt that she was very proud that she gave me with a swear on it, so you know I'm a cool dad. I allow swearing. All right, Hardy, what do you got?
Just have one that just came in on the heels of our Patriots schedule discussion. I know it's early, but after hearing you, I had to look at next year's opponents. Sheesh. Broncos, Packers, Bills, Vikings, tough home games. I don't know about the Vikings. But the away
Vikings will be better next year, but go ahead.
Yeah. But the away games, holy moly. Bears, Lions, Chargers, Kansas City, Seahawks, and the Jags. A 2-6 away record very much on the table.
And not for radio purposes, but just I am curious as a fan. I mean this solely as a fan. I'm very interested to seeing them play at the Lions. Because I am interested about that conversation we had about if they played in the NFC North. The Lions are so talented offensively. Their line was a little shoddy. They'll get a lineman, an interior lineman probably in the draft. They'll probably get a couple linemen in the draft.
New offensive coordinator, too.
When Campbell had to start calling plays again.
That was a sure sign that guy wasn't coming back.
That wasn't the best sign for them. Yeah. And I guess you can't fire the defensive coordinator because of all the injuries they had in the secondary. But the Patriots had injuries, too. I'm very curious on that matchup. Legitimately curious, not in any way of like, oh, I was right. I swear I'm not. It's just that's going to be interesting to me to see. Now, this fulfills what we questioned this, or what I questioned this year. I don't know if you guys agreed with me or not, but like seeing them play the NFC North, it's kind of cool. That's such a tough division. I am interested in seeing how they fare in that.
If you take a look, there are 9 teams on that schedule for next year currently in the playoffs, and then you have Kansas City on top of that.
As opposed to last year or this year where you played every team that's picking in the top 10 essentially. So it will be interesting.
Next year's going to be brutal, regardless of how much better you get.
And you'll be better. And I do think that obviously the Patriots I expect them to be a playoff team. And challenge, obviously, for the division. I don't think Miami or the Jets certainly aren't going to be any good. So, like, I do expect them to challenge for the division, but it will be interesting.
Yeah, and I would just say this, going up against any team that has a nasty edge rusher, because I'm not as high on the Lions next year as some people are, thinking they're going to be able to, turn things around. But just imagine if you were going up against either, any of the teams that you played this year with a decent edge rusher, whether it was the Raiders or the Browns, obviously when you have Myles Garrett to contend with.
We saw what Myles Garrett did in that game.
5 sacks.
Now imagine playing those teams that maybe their defense overall isn't great, but they've got that guy and they have a good offense. Because I do think the Lions will be able to score points again next year. I just don't have any.
How would they not be able to?
Exactly. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. The schedule's going to be tough for next year. Now, should we forego all schedule talk of next year, Fred, and just enjoy what we have coming up on Sunday night, or is it okay to talk about it a little bit?
No, I think that the schedule is leading to the point that they should win a playoff game. This is not.
They're connected. They're connected.
No one can accuse us of being negative about the Patriots this week.
No.
And no one can accuse me of rooting against the Patriots this week. I'm absolutely not rooting against the Patriots.
Stop
this
defending
week.
yourself against accusations that haven't been made.
Oh, they've been made. They've been made. Blind Scott's been defending them.
Oh, Blind Scott the Defender is the title of an email here from Timma. I just read the whole Efton Chisholm Instagram comments section, and my personal favorite post was when someone accused Blind Scott of being your Fred Burner account. And his reply was, one time I was living in Mexico with my dad, and Fred was my bodyguard. This was when he was younger, and I was in a swim competition, and he protected me.
Well, Lifshats has accused me of having burner accounts. I've been accused of having burner accounts on every platform available, and it's very funny to me. I'm perfectly comfortable saying on the air everything I have to say.
Was that a Man on Fire reference?
No.
Oh my! Holy crap, John! It just went right over my head. Yes.
That was a Man on Fire reference.
Yes.
Explain.
That was Denzel Washington and Dakota Fanning. Her parents leave. She's training for this big swim competition. Denzel Washington is her bodyguard and trains her.
Oh,
that's great. That's
very
so
good,
funny.
Blind Scott. Having seen a movie.
Well
All right,
done,
in
Wallace.
some
Thank
way.
you. Well done.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
And
by the way, I'm not. If Blind Scott stops this, I'm fine either way. It's just funny to me.
Tim also said that Blind Scott is starting to morph into fake Blind Scott, and I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
The two are indistinguishable.
The funny thing about Blind Scott getting involved in these things is it just shows how preposterous the whole thing is.
The whole commenting online about anything.
of stomping your feet online about something, and not if you're a listener of the show and you're like Fred's super negative. I am, but like. If you listen to the show, you hate listening to the show. All that's legitimate. I like when 98.5 puts out the rage bait videos because they're people that aren't our audience, and those reactions I just found funny because they're like, "Oh, Lions fan," like, okay, yeah, and like you're mad at me for wearing a hat, like you're a 4-year-old,
Yeah.
Like I should come adorned in Boston memorabilia every day and to ingratiate myself into the audience. And by the way, I've been here since 2006. I'm fairly ingrained.
You're not
my
from
kid,
here. Sorry.
My son's going to graduate high school next year. He'll have spent his whole life in this town. I mean, we're not taking him. I'm not moving him next year. So if I get fired, we're still here. So he's there. He's here.
And Fred, you and I both spent years living in the city limits, in the city of Boston.
In the city of Boston.
Not some suburban kid who grew up and is and by just virtue of how old he is has actually lived in this area less time than we have and never lived any time in the city of Boston, but will still never be from here.
I have look. I'm not from here, and my allegiances do not lie here, but I did indeed live in the city of Boston for many years. Paid the taxes for the city of Boston.
I was in Rossie for even longer than you were.
Yeah, I was in Brighton Brighton was the best time I've ever had here. I loved Brighton, but I just didn't want to raise my kids there. I could have, now that he goes to Lawrence, I guess.
So we were having the discussion earlier about the downfall of Western civilization based on internet posts, and we had the woman who does the food things.
Right. Garlic, onion.
And Timmy says, if you want to have a good laugh, that woman, Elaine Carroll, look up the Instagram account called Chef Reactions.
Yes, that's how I found out about her,
now,
Hardy.
Fred, you are not a fan of Chef Reactions.
I'm not.
Yeah. Look, I liked it for a long time, and then recently...
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
It dawned on me, much later than it probably should have, that a lot of the jokes he's making, he has pre-written based on watching these videos ahead of time.
And also,
they're too perfect and too perfectly timed.
If you got a minute and a half and you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, it's not funny again. Like, it's just the same thing again and 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 again. Like,
I don't watch
enjoyable.
Like video after video after video of his, but I'll still sit through. It kind of reminds me of hanging out with Big Jim Murray. He's got a bit of a Jim Murray vibe. Totally. Him. Yeah.
And Jim Murray in another life could have been a chef.
I don't get to see Jim Murray anymore. So, yeah, it's kind of like I get time, with Big Jim when I watch the
That's an excellent point. Like, Jim Murray is a job away from being a disgruntled chef at a nice restaurant. He's got sleeves.
He's got the right attitude.
He wears that hat.
Yep.
Yeah. He's a little Bourdain in him.
Sure.
Maybe not quite as well read.
But anyway, Timmy says that Chef Reactions watches Elaine's videos and completely trashes how disgusting the food is. So there you go.
Well, that's not the problem I have with it.
I know.
It's that it's not funny.
I know. It's just an email, Fred. This is the email segment.
Well, I'm reacting to him. That's the whole point of this thing. That's why Glassman put his name behind it.
No spoilers here, but Dave said, not sure if you guys have watched the Stranger Things finale, but I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on the music they chose. I believe the last 4 songs were Prince, When Doves Cry, Prince, Purple Rain, Cowboy Junkies, Sweet Jane, and David Bowie, Heroes. I thought it was perfect and love that they squeezed a cover song by a bad band in between mega hits from Hall of Famers. It's like a manager taking his red-hot utility hitter, batting him third, and watching him go 4 for 4 with 6 RBI.
I don't like that take.
So I bagged out of Stranger Things like after this halfway through the second season when it got like super sci-fi. But I'll tell you what, from what I've seen, I'm a huge fan of that kid that wears the hat at that restaurant. Like the kid, there's a kid on that show, not like a younger kid, like an older guy, that was only supposed to be on one episode, but I guess he was so cool behind the scenes.
Steve Harrington.
Yeah, that he like popped, and they were like, wow, this kid's a star, and they put him in it. And every time I see like a clip of that kid, I'm like, this kid's a phenomenal actor. I enjoy this guy.
He's a good character.
I will say that. Maybe I'll have to watch Stranger Things.
I am going to watch that. I haven't watched the finale yet, but
I like that she married Bon Jovi's kid. At a very early age.
And they adopted a child immediately, too.
Yeah, they're both like 21, 22, something like that.
Well, they should get the kid.
Good life choices, yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, there's a lot of families, desperate for children, and they should get the kid. I mean, they're very famous.
I don't like Dave calling Cowboy Junkies a garbage band.
No, and I think that's a wonderful version of that song. It was well used there as well.
I think any version of a Lou Reed or Velvet Underground song is a good version because I don't like Lou Reed or Velvet Underground. Yeah.
Oh, you don't like the woman that played with like marching band instruments?
You know what I do like is
Nico. No, that's not Nico. The drummer, the female drummer, played with like the thing that you hit the big drum with in the orchestra.
The timpani.
Yeah, sure.
I do like I Love You, Suzanne. I remember watching that video on MTV when I was a kid by Lou Reed. This is supposed to be this, megastar from the early days of rock and roll. And I Love You, Suzanne would come on. I'm like, what is this crap? And even as a, 8-year-old, I knew it was crap. And I don't understand why people continued to be into Lou Reed and he would put out stuff like that and people still talked about his genius.
You don't get it.
Okay, so I'm obsessed with that like early 70s to late 70s New York scene. Like it is so responsible for so much of even current culture. The unanimous experiences that all of them had with Lou Reed of him being just an inconceivable prick to people, everyone, regardless of your fame. And yet this in his abuse, like literal abuse of everyone surrounding him. And yet people still so reverential towards him is really something. I'll tell you what, if Bowie put his magic wand on your head, whether you be Devo or the Ramones or Lou Reed or Iggy Pop, if David Bowie went around and like touched you, that's why Devo got signed. That's why all these bands got signed, is that David Bowie, to his credit, when he was very high on cocaine and out of his mind, was hanging out in New York, and he would just find people interesting and bring them into the mainstream. This is a conversation for everyone. Everyone loves this conversation. Thank you. That is my take on the late 70s New York scene. All right, we will be back in just a moment. We will steer this ship to shore. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub.
possibly have missed from the show. It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. And Hardy, what could possibly be going on that we haven't got into already?
Well, Nick Gemelli posted something about a certain movie franchise. Can you guess what movie franchise got Nick Gemelli so hot and bothered he had to share it with the entire class?
It's gonna be like Batman or an Avengers situation.
Avengers Doomsday? Is that it?
No, your first instinct was correct. It's the Batman.
Okay.
And someone named this is what Nick felt compelled to share with us. Sebastian Stan to join Robert Pattinson in the Batman 2. Now, we're all familiar with Sebastian Stan.
Right. I mean, Eminem wrote that very moving song about him.
He used the Winter Soldier, was he not?
I don't know. I don't know.
In the Avengers, Nicholas?
I've never heard of him.
Yes, he was the Winter Soldier, Nicholas, correct? Sebastian Stan? Yes.
I don't know what that is.
The Oscar-nominated star of The Apprentice TV show is in talks to join Robert Pattinson in the Batman Part 2. He's no stranger to costume heroes and villains, having played Bucky Barnes / the Winter Soldier in numerous Marvel movies. Unclear as to who he will be playing in the new Batman movie, whether he'll be an adversary or ally to Bruce Wayne. He kind of looks like a villain. Doesn't he have more of a villain look about him?
Well, what was the Winter Soldier?
The Winter Soldier was a bit of an anti-hero, wasn't he? He was kind of a foil to Captain America.
It's Batman Day. It's Batman Day.
Yeah. If you recall, Nick, he was very, he knows I'm telling the story, is that he was, during the afternoons at BCN when we were on that show, Nick was an intern back in the 06-07 days. And Nicholas absolutely hated me, and for good reason. I was very cruel to Nicholas. And Nicholas was working on the show, and he wanted to end his internship, but he wanted to wait. He was waiting around for the premiere of the original Batman movie with
Michael Keaton.
The Dark Knight.
No, The Dark Knight.
Oh, the other
he
one,
was
yeah.
waiting for The Dark Knight.
Right.
Michael Keaton,
Now, this Dark Knight movie was going to come out, come hell or high water, regardless of what happened on our show, but he needed to see it before it was released to the public.
Yeah.
And so he waited around, and we knew he was going to leave. We knew he wanted to leave. So he waited around until the day of the premiere. And so we said, okay, you can leave early, but first you have to do operation correctly without making any mistakes. And Nick also, before he left, pilfered the prize closet and took himself a Batman shirt.
Stole a Batman T-shirt.
A Dark Knight T-shirt. And then, sure enough, right after that movie was over, he wrote a resignation letter saying that he was leaving the show.
Now, I don't know if you remember specifically or if Nick does. Was it the same week, month? Was it the next day?
The only thing Nick remembers is Frank Caliendo was in studio that day watching him play Operation.
Yeah.
That's what he just shared.
We knew Nick was quitting.
Yeah.
It was a very poorly kept secret. But we knew he was going to quit, so we had him play Operation. And ultimately, he couldn't do it, so we just let him go. But I think that night, he had written this letter of resignation to us.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but here he is in 2026.
Now
still working. Now he's working for the show.
I don't think I sat through that original Batman
20
movie.
years ago. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
This is the 20th year I've been in this market.
Oh, yeah?
Machi.
So you're the one who said your kid was
now,
born and
Hardy?
raised there.
June of this year will be 20 years, right?
June for
May
you.
and Labor Day weekend.
And then Hardy, this is 22 years for you because you were 2004, I think. No, 2005. I came in 2005. January.
So you've been here 20 years.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Last year was his 20-year anniversary.
Yeah, I was January of 2005, so I'm
started
probably
afternoons at
21 years here in the next day or two.
Yeah, come May, I will be, or May or end of May, I'll be 20 years in this market.
Oh.
Holy moly.
Scarlett Johansson also rumored to be in this new Batman movie.
It's about time that lady got a break.
I think so too. You know, she's been grinding, so to speak.
Speaking of 20 years, her husband been hosting Weekend Update for a solid 20 years.
Feels that way.
There's always a threat he's going to leave, and he keeps staying.
I guess because there's nowhere to go now.
Yeah.
Like
he wants
nowhere
Lauren's
to go.
job. He's hanging out to get Lauren's job.
So
I think he could leave and still get it.
Seth Meyers is the one rumored to be
That's interesting.
the front runner
Would make more
for
sense.
Lauren's job.
I hear him and Tina Fey. And I hear
Tina Fey, Seth Meyers,
Yeah.
and Jost apparently all want to be the new Lorne Michaels. But I don't think Lorne Michaels, till death, he's got to be, what, like 82, 83?
That sounds about right. Early 80s, I think.
Because he was on Canadian television in, like, the early 60s or mid-60s.
81 years old.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm a nice man.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a
So there you go. All right. Tomorrow on the show, big things planned as we continue to lead up to Sunday's big playoff night. And that will all be going on. I believe tomorrow we'll talk to Ryan Johnston, I think. Maybe not. I don't recall. But it will be a wild Thursday here on the show as we continue coming back from this break. Everyone, enjoy yourselves. Have a wonderful day. That'll do it for us as we leave directly on time. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.